Supposedly. I'm waiting for my other screen to go. Wow. I was actually going to come on here 12 minutes ago, and as I went, suddenly my other screen, the laptop over here, just said, we're going to update now. Then when it came back, I don't know what the update was, but I had no internet access, no nothing. My VPN wouldn't work. Nothing would work. None of my browsers. Had to go reset my own my internet access on there. It's like, what in the Jesus? Uh-oh. Yeah. Should be on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why do I have no sound? Uh-oh. Oh. And this reset itself too. Okay. Let's give it a second here. See if I suddenly show up. No sound. Let me check over here on Rumble see if there's any sound. Oh, sorry guys, this is really fun. This is the second or third time I've had updates happen as I'm trying to go live. And I got echoes. Okay, so if I turn that, sorry, this should get rid of the echo. Hang on. Got echoes. All right, here, hang on. I'm waiting. See if that affected it. This should get rid of the echo. Okay, so on Rumble I'm working. On YouTube there's no sound. At least not on my board. Let's see if I can set this. Okay, there we go. Great way to start a stream. I was already jazzed anyway. I got to get up early. So we got a Chesapeake Bay Retriever event. But I was watching what's going on behind me in the background. Just trying to chill down, relax. I know drinking energy drink, but for me that's nothing. It's a small one I've been sipping for hours. But I'm watching the channel in the background, and I don't want to call him out. I mean, it's not his fault. It's the people on there. It's SpeakeaZy, so go check it out for tonight if you like. You're talking about the Karmelo Anthony thing. And I am seeing a bunch of blatant, excuse my language, fucking idiots on there just making the stupidest comments. Well, if they lay a hand on me, of course I can have the right to stabby, pokey, bang him. Are you stupid? Anybody that's ever taken a concealed carry course knows right away that you do not get to perforate somebody with a pokey thing or a shooty thing because they touch you. Or even if you're in a fist fight, you have to be in imminent fear, provable imminent fear for your life. And yes, I have a friend who has a saying, and I agree with him most of the time. Better judged by 12 than carried by 6. And I usually agree with that. But my God, according to some of these people commenting on his channel in the background, I'm not sure why he had Oprah pop up, but that's interesting. Oh, he must have got a gifted membership thing. But according to a couple of these commenters on his channel, we would have a string of dead people for the last 80 years in our high schools and grade schools. Anytime there's a fist fight or somebody touches somebody, moves them out of a lunch line, goes, hey, you're sitting in the wrong place, boy. Anything like that, it's okay to perforate them in their heart. According to a couple of these idiots in the background on his channel. Well, as soon as he touches me, it's all bets are off. As soon as he touches me, I'm automatically in fear for my life. I don't want any of these assholes who answered that way to ever have access to a firearm of any type, let alone concealed carry. I don't care if it's a pocket knife. You should not be carrying it. If you think, my God, according to some of these people, I actually heard one of them answer, well, if somebody walks up behind me and I'm somewhere and puts a hand on me and says, hey, I might just, poke them, perforate them, end them. I don't know what they're doing. Dude, what if some buddy is walking up behind you and goes, boo, dude. You're going, really? Holy crap. I'm not picking on him. He's been pretty level-headed on it. He's given some wrong answers, in my opinion. And what's my opinion? I'm not some firearms expert, but I grew up with firearms. I grew up in the country. We were taught firearm safety at around age 5. We're shooting at age 5. Shot my whole life. I know the laws. I have concealed carry. I've had it for a long time. My wife has it. We practice firearm safety. We have been to multiple classes, multiple instructors. And yes, our instructors even talk about knives. It is not proportional response to stick one in somebody's heart because they are physically moving you over. This was not done. This whole Karmelo Anthony thing was not done in some dark friggin' alley. Oh my God, I was all alone. This is not like the Trayvon Martin thing where he had that dude on the ground and, hey, he didn't pull his firearm first to shoot Trayvon. He tried to do a fist fight routine, just like you should. You don't just get to be, whoop, he threw a punch, bam, bam, bam. You don't get to do that. You will be in jail. You will be. If you are carrying a deadly weapon, you don't get to just automatically use it. As soon as somebody, oops, I'm scared. But the whole Trayvon Martin thing, he tried the fist fight thing when he was on the ground, on his back, getting pounded by Trayvon. Pounded. That's when he perforated him. Only then. And that was justifiable self-defense, especially in stand your ground. And by the way, some of these people behind me are conflating stand your ground means, well, as soon as somebody shoves me, I can do whatever it takes. No. Stand your ground means you can respond with justifiable and or proportional defense. And honestly, I'm not going to sound, some guys, oh, what a weenie. I'd just leave if I could. I'm not. By the way, that is something else. Almost anybody with a concealed carry will tell you, dude, I am not looking to pop somebody. I will do whatever it takes to get the frig out of the situation if at all I could. And it sounds like Karmelo Anthony definitely could have. He did nothing to leave the situation, according to everything we've heard, every eyewitness thing that's leaked, any testimony we've been able to find a little bit of, anything. Nobody has said Karmelo Anthony tried to leave the situation. If you do not get to end somebody's life, you don't get to end somebody's life in a situation you could have left. We've been taught that in multiple concealed carry classes. And once again, they do address knives in there because the classes we took were very thorough. The instructors were very good. Hell, we're out in the state I'm in. Our instructor didn't even use the state firearms target. He requires you to use a much smaller human-looking target. And he's really good. But no, they address knives and everything else. Because, why not? People conceal carry knives, as he said. You don't need a license for it most of the time. If you can leave a situation, you must before you use deadly force. Unless you think your life is in danger, which once again, this kid could not use that justification. He is in a grandstand full of people. These are people, the parents of kids at the high school, other kids in the high school, mothers, daughters, little children running around. He's not in some dark alley with some guy. Yes, sounds like Metcalf was a good amount bigger than him. If we want to buy this justification, then anytime I've been in a fight, I'm not a really big guy. I'm in very good shape muscle-wise, but I'm not a big guy. But according to some of these commenters in the background, right here, then as soon as I get in a fight with somebody bigger than me, and I don't leave when I could, as soon as somebody touches me, then I have the right to end them. Because they're bigger than me, and because I chose to stay and probably amp it up by saying, touch me and see what happens. That's something else that was addressed in any concealed carry class I took. You do not get to egg the fight on and then call it justifiable self-defense. That is not the way it works. Sorry, I'm trying to check my echo. Oh, son of a... How do I have an echo? Does anybody understand why I have an echo? Well, it may not be popping up on you, and let me see what that does. There we go. Let's see here. All right, that's what it's doing. Okay. Sorry, that's what happens when updates are forced on you. I do not like forced updates. Forced updates suck. Forced updates can kiss my ass. I really hate that. Sucker punch him and run. Yeah. Hey, Bizarre Star, how's it going? Yeah, I agree totally. Or at the very least, just leave. Because it's from everything we've seen and heard so far, Karmelo Anthony, all he had to do was leave. I don't care if Metcalf was wrong. I do not care. You do not get to justify self-defense if you had a chance to leave and did not. That is not what stand your ground means. That does not mean, well, he told me to leave, and I just felt like not. So, no. And I'm not picking on SpeakeaZy behind me, like I said, behind me here. But his commenters, half of them are idiots that I hope never have access to a firearm or a knife, let alone have concealed carry. Now, this comes to another thing that bothered me about some of the commenters on here. I know at least one was Australian, and another one sounded like UK. They didn't openly say that. But I'm going to tell you right now, to you Australian and UK people, shut the fuck up. Your country, you can't even carry a pocket knife or pepper spray. Standard pepper spray is considered, oh, you can't carry that. My gosh. Your women can't even protect yourselves in your country with pepper spray, a taser, a pocket knife, nothing. So you get to shut the fuck up and not even talk about our stand your ground laws. I saw somebody in his chat actually comment, go, wait a minute. What friggin' country are you in trying to talk about our stand your ground laws? You have none. Your country has zip. You can't carry anything to protect yourself in most states and most areas of your countries. Last I knew, a friend of mine in Australia said, no, don't get pocket knife. You don't get a taser. You don't get pepper spray. None of that is legal. I know it's not in most areas of the UK. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was sorry, Bizarre Star. I'm just jazzed. I was actually trying to go to bed, as I got to be up early for a Chesapeake Bay Retriever event. My wife wants to run our dog through some Chesapeake trials. And I was just trying to relax and watch this and just got keyed up. And it's been a couple days since I've done a stream, and it's going to be a couple more days till I get a chance to do one again. So, you know what? Let's burn that energy off. But good morning or afternoon or where you're at. If you're in America, I mean, what's your view, or what do you know about stand your ground and or justifiable self-defense laws? If you're in another country, hey, let me know what your laws are there, or But yeah, welcome and to the red eye people. I gotta stop doing that because you touch this and my screen's base has really gotten weak. But no, I'm just watching, and feel free to go watch over on SpeakeaZy. I'm just here blowing off steam. He's been pretty centered. He's been wrong about a few things. But my big irk is anybody that's been through a concealed carry class would look at half of these people right here and go, you are idiots. You will be in jail. You will be charged with MURDER if you do this crap. This is stupid what these people are saying. Well, if they tie a hand on me, stand your ground, I can pop, 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 stab, stab, stab. That is not what they mean. In Texas, Trump supporter 100%. Oh, yeah, my old truck. I actually have one of the newer ones. This one's getting a little worn. Hell, my dog even got it once and chewed on a little corner my wife had to fix here. But yeah, I don't wear my 2024 hat very often because a lot of people are wearing the 2024s now because a lot more people suddenly go, oh yeah, we have always liked Trump. It's like, I had an older one than this. I had the 2016. But it was, well, my dog did get that one when he's a puppy. So yeah. Yeah, I also, yes, obviously I'm a Trump supporter. I mean, I don't agree with everything he's doing, of course, because I'm not in a cult, unlike the left. You know, 1 minute they were saying, Kamala Harris, oh my God, Joe Biden, he's a dumper. She's the worst VP in history. She's dragging down the ticket. Then suddenly, a week later, Yas Queen, she's going to be the best pres ever. So, who's in the cult? But But no, over on SpeakeaZy's channel, I'd recommend anybody, don't listen to my dumb butt. I don't even have my back lights on because I was tired. But I'm a guy sitting around Star Trek, Star Wars, and 80s sci-fi pop culture toys and magazines and everything else, and comics. But go watch SpeakeaZy's video, even if you're watching this tomorrow or next day, and see what you think. It is playing at 2:27 a.m. on April 25th. So go look that up. I think he's doing a pretty good job of keeping semi-sane. He's wrong on a few things, but whoa. Man, I was just so incensed after shooting my whole life, having concealed carry all this time, and hearing these people, well, you know, somebody comes up to me and gets in my face. And I can't say it enough because my brain is having major logical problems with this. I do not want people like this having any access to a firearm or a knife at all. I mean, I don't know if you were on here, but I used an example or earlier that what if a buddy comes up behind you? This one guy was on here saying, well, if as soon as somebody lays a hand on me, I'm going to automatically assume my life is in fear, and I'm going to, like, holy crap. I'm like, what if a buddy comes up behind you and goes, boo, and grabs you or something, or, hey, who are you? Trying to play around, and you turn around, poke, 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 or pop, pop. That, you're going to call that justifiable homicide? I mean, ugh. I can't even justify half the stuff these people are saying, let alone people in UK and Australia trying to tell us about justifiable stand your ground or when you can poke somebody when you're not allowed to carry anything in your areas. Connie! Hey, how you doing, Connie? Speaking of which, Connie lives in one of the other states like mine. Actually, Connie's state is surpassing mine, or at least they're trying to, in horrible, horrible firearms laws. Connie is from the land of Subarus and granola. Oh, how you doing, hun? What are you doing up? I wasn't planning on being up, because I do have to be up early for a Chesapeake Bay Retriever event. And I'm not going to be on very long. It's not going to be a 2 or 3 hour stream like my normals. I just had to come on, and I would actually ask for people to go watch this stream and just start reading listen to the comments from some of these people he brings on here in the panel and people in the chat. You will be shocked as hell of what people are saying is justifiable or what stand your ground means. I mean, you just woke up. You're mountain time. It's 1:30 a.m. for you. I mean, you just got up at 1:30? Holy crap. Well, you're either 1:30 or 12:30. Because you're an hour or two behind me. I think you're mountain, aren't you? Oh, man. I don't know. What do you guys... Ugh. Okay. What do you think is stand your ground mean and or is justifiable deadly force use? I know what I was told in concealed carry classes. I know what I've been told by friends of mine that are lawyers. There is standards, and this Karmelo Anthony thing does not meet those standards. All he had to do was walk away and find an adult, find a security guard if there's a problem. If he was okay being there, then all you do is go find a security guard or a principal, or just appeal to the people around him. There were tons of people in the stands. Once again, it's not like they were out in the middle of nowhere on a sidewalk in the middle of the night, nobody around. If your life is threatened. But see, Connie, the thing is you got to be able to prove that. You can't say, well, he grabbed me, moved me over here. Or he came up and said he was going to off me, but never laid a hand on me, so I just poke, poke, poke. There's got to be a real justifiable belief that your life is in danger. Not just suddenly, oh, I'm a chicken shit, I'm scared, poke, poke, poke. And Karmelo Anthony, it sounds like he egged it on. You don't get to say, touch me and see what happens. A lot of people can say you're kind of inviting the touch. You're egging on the battle. That eliminates, if I am a concealed carry person and I egg a fight on, the fight gets nasty, he goes against me, then I pop somebody, I don't get justifiable self-defense. I don't get use of deadly force even if I was losing because I egged that on. Sounds like Karmelo Anthony, from what we know so far, from everything we've heard so far, that some of his witness testimony say that he egged it on twice. So, even if Austin was a total jackass, totally wrong, doing something totally he shouldn't have been, all Karmelo Anthony do is walk the fuck out. Soon as he said something, he could have left. Nope. Puts his hand in his bag, already grabbing this shoe cleaning spike or whatever it is, already ready to poke. And eggs it on. That's it. Done. No self-defense. And I've seen, I'm not going to pick on him, but Tim Pool argued, well, as soon as somebody lays hands on me, I'm in fear. He egged it on. You do not get justifiable, terminate somebody's life, self-defense, after you've egged it on, and then it's gone away, wrong way on you. So, yeah. Austin did not have a weapon. Yeah, okay, now, Connie, do you know that Austin was much bigger? Sounds like he's 6 foot or taller and 230 pounds. He's a big football boy. That is a, that was a Texas boy eating some pig feed down there. He was a big boy. And it sounds like Karmelo Anthony was definitely smaller. I believe earlier we heard he was 5'10 and 130 pounds. Holy crap. That's a rail. There's no way he was 120, 130 pounds like they're originally saying. If he's like 5'9", 5'10", he's easily going to be 150 to 160-ish. So yes, Austin was still bigger. Don't care. Austin asked him to move. All he had to do was move. Every witness statement so far that we've been able to get any eyes or ears on has said he told him to leave. Karmelo gets up, leaves. Done. Nobody stabbed, nobody problem. Karmelo walks off, gets help, solved. Gets an adult, gets a security guard, gets somebody. Done. Didn't do that. He egged it. So I don't know if he went there looking for a fight. It sounds like he knew somebody in that tent. Sounds like it. But there are people also saying the police seized the cell phones of everybody in the stands. There's not a single video out because they took everybody's phone, took the videos all off, and are sitting on them. And if they thought these videos were going to clear Karmelo Anthony, they would release them today. I'm going to say that. They would release them today. Because they would end this. They go, hey, Austin did something shitty. But if they thought they was going to clear the brown skin man, these videos would be all over. But they are sitting on them because they know what's going to happen. This is my opinion. I think these videos are going to show that Anthony was looking for trouble, that it's going to come out really bad for him on these videos, and they are scared shitless because they know the BLMs, the brown apologists, ignore the math and science of what brown people are doing in America right now. People are going to be out there causing violence, threatening the juries, or at least scaring them. And I think they're sitting on these videos because of that reason. Maybe we'll find out I'm wrong. I don't care. These are my opinions, and I think they are sitting on these videos, not releasing it because of that reason. I mean, come on. We've seen videos from other things where if they think it's going to exonerate the Browns person, or even the victim is a white person, that they're going to show, no, this victim is a true victim, they would release it. They're not. It's going to show Anthony did this. Right? That's me. He took a weapon in school grounds. Now, that is not fully true. There are conflicting stories. Some say it was a knife, but other people are saying it wasn't. They're saying it was a spike used to clean your cleats for track running. Now, if that's true, still doesn't change the fact for me. I don't care if it's a knife. I don't care if it's a spike for cleaning your cleats. By the way, how big a spike is that? He got this through the hardest part to get through, to get to his heart. This kid was not 130 pounds or so. He got it through the bone area into the heart. That was a hell of a poke. But it doesn't matter if it's a knife or a spike. He egged it on. Let's say I'm going to go totally shitty on Austin Metcalf. I'm going to say Austin Metcalf is a big dude. He's a total jackass. He's a bully. I'll even say this. Let's say Austin Metcalf is a racist jackass. He came up to Anthony, and by so far all the witness statements we've heard, he said, "You're in the wrong tent. Get out of here." Maybe just 'cause didn't like his race. Fine. I'm going to go as devil's advocate on him as I can. And what did Anthony do? And every statement says he did not lay hands on him at that time. Anthony said, "Touch me and see what happens," and already had his hand in the bag. He'd already gone right for the one thing that was a weapon. He egged it instead of getting up and walking the fuck away. Done there. Anthony then did lay hands on him and was trying to remove him from the tent. That is not going to end you when there's tons of people around. And then, floop. So even if I say Austin's a jackass, Anthony is in trouble. Now, here's where we get into a little bit of an argument. A kid was suspended. Plus, a kid was suspended from his school. He should not have been on any school grounds. He was? I didn't hear he was suspended. I thought he was suspended afterwards. See, now, I thought he was suspended and after the incident, not before. That's what I heard. I heard he was suspended after. That's what I was reading, so. His twin brother said it was a knife. Okay, well, other people are now saying it was a spike for cleaning cleats. But either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a spike for cleaning cleats or it is an actual knife. He egged it. Done. None of my concealed carry instructors would ever say that was justifiable. The two people I know that, well, two of them are friends' dads who are lawyers would say right away, that is not justifiable. And I've talked to him about justifiable since I do like to carry. So, he was already suspended. Uh-oh. If he was already suspended, that is not good. Let me look here. Let me do a quick search. Sorry, I'm trying to type and my mic is right in the way, and I'm not a good typer anyway. This doesn't say he was suspended before. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff. I don't want to read stuff off of Reddit. Reddit is a cesspool. Let's see, Reddit. Let's see, it was not oversighting. He was looking for trouble. Oh no, what happened there? Well, that was weird as crap. Reddit just turned blue on me. That was weird as crap. Trying to see if any of these people had. I take Reddit with a whole shaker full of salt. Okay, I think I've said it a billion times past decade. I've heard the phrase, "There's a grapevine." But online guy should have kept his hands to himself, and Anthony would not have stabbed. See, that's stupid. That's stupid. That is stupid. Bottom line, guy should have kept his hands to himself. No, he egged it on before Anthony ever touched him. Yes, maybe Anthony should have touched him, but that's not justifiable. So whoever this jackass is, I'm not going to put it in the screen. Whoever this jackass is I'm looking at right here should never have his hands on a weapon. Ever. Ever. My mom passed. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else says it, but I'm not finding where they say that. See, I'm not finding anything that says that. Let me see. Controversial law. He was suspended from team activities. Oh. See, that's actually not coming up here. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? What is this? What is this? Let me see. You may have taught me something new. Registration report. Sorry, I'm reading real quick here. Trying to speed read through this. According to nonprofit. Oh, okay, grief. Yeah, I like how Austin Metcalf's family is the one's getting swatted. Now his brother is the one getting the police report should come around. They told others to see he was on the first. They're generally curious. Is waiting for the brother's account. It's reasonable. Claims of defense office dismissed, ridiculed. Sorry, I'm trying to see. Karmelo had that knife for protection. See, a lot of people are still saying it's knife. Other people are saying it's definitely it was a cleat spike for cleaning running cleats. That's all I want to find out. Sorry, boy, there's a lot of people talking on this. Some are saying he was suspended. Some are saying he wasn't. Some are saying they're talking about the expulsion now since the pokey. But I'll have to look later more. But if let's say he was, then that removes everything. That removes every justifiable self-defense. By the way, sorry, Felon Davius. That's a nice one. I like that. That's nice. But yeah, that Bunny. That's why I'm mostly here doing my opinion, just responding to the people in the chat over my shoulder, because there is so much of this out there. It is tough to see or read any of it, and yeah, it is. I don't blame you. It's just there's so much of it out there. It is tough because, like I said, I found where you guys are saying he was suspended before. Some are saying, yeah, he was suspended before. Others are saying, no, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, he was suspended for a knife at school. Yeah. Is what one person here is saying. Then other people are saying, no, that is not true. So, yeah. So that's the problem. There is so much going on here. It is really tough to deal with and figure it all out. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just making sure Rumble's still up and running. Nobody ever says anything on Rumble chat. That's weird. I have more viewers a lot of times on Rumble, but Rumble chat doesn't really do much. And I had a friend test it, show me it does work, so, okay. Weird, and Rumble is just strange. But I am streaming on Rumble right now. All my links are in the description for the video, guys. He was suspended before all this. I'm going to have to research that, because now 2 of you guys have told me that, and I'm seeing, this is a quick, while I'm on here search, I'm seeing conflicting news about that. So, yeah. Yeah, see, I'm still just finding that some are saying that, others saying, no, that is not true, So, I'll have to do some more research. I think I'll have time between helping my dad and this Chesapeake thing this weekend, where I won't be around much, probably till Sunday. I'll be in and out of here so much I won't be able to get on here. There was some story about how they had history before. That is another one I just read on here, but I just can't tell what's real or not right now. Somebody said a comment that Karmelo had been caught with a knife before and was suspended because he said 2 twins were messing with him. Okay, now here's the problem. Let's say that's right. Once again, we are doing opinion here at the moment, since we are running into so many different things. Let's just say that these twins, the Metcalf twins, once again, devil's advocate. Let's say the Metcalf twins were bullying him. He was smaller by a lot, by the sounds of it, and everything else. They didn't like him, whatever, football guys versus track guys, whatever. You track guys are weenies, whatever. You football guys are dumb jocks, whatever. Well, then why in the colorful metaphor F, if you are, let's say, 130 to 160 pounds, are you going to go sit in the tent and poke the dog, as they say, of the 200-pound, 6-foot-tall twins? Why are you doing that? That, to me, would say, opinion, that you are looking for trouble. If I carried a knife, a spike, a firearm into a situation of around people I knew didn't like me, who had been pushing me around, starting trouble, threatening me, That ends my justification. That's done. There is no self-defense because I purposely went into a situation with a deadly weapon, and I shouldn't have done that. I should not. They should not. So yeah. Oh, it has 3 suspensions. Wow. Like I said, I just did a quick search here, and I'm getting so many conflicting stories on that. I did see where the one says here they had some history. They had some history with the twins. So that makes it even worse. Somebody's bullying you. Yes, that's the way it is. We all grew up. Come on. We're making a big deal out of bullying. But my God, it's happened throughout time. It wasn't a big deal when we all had some backbones and spines and could fight it out and punch it out, or when it was over, if somebody called us names, we taught sticks and stones may break my bones, and words will never hurt me. But now we teach words hurt. Sorry, folks, words do not hurt. Get the fuck over yourself. Go home and have a good cry into your pillow or something. My God. If words hurt is justifiable for you to go do something stupid, then you don't be in society with the rest of us. But, Felontavius, if what you're saying is true, that they had history, his self-defense justification is gone. He carried a deadly weapon into a situation that he knew could inflame. And that he may have to use that because he reached for it right away by all statements. So, yeah, it sounds like then that, like Bunny was saying, and I think somebody, Bizarre Star was saying earlier, that sounds like he kind of went into it looking for a trouble. Like he was going to show these guys. And I'm going to keep saying it, folks. This is opinion because of what we know and bouncing around. And I'm going to repeat this again, what I said a little bit ago. The very fact that the police seized all the phones, took every video off them, and is sitting on them, says to me these videos show Anthony did this. As in, it shows a little premeditation. It shows he egged it. It shows what witness statements we've had are right, that he egged it on. Why would you go to the tent of people that bully you, that are much bigger? Not just one of them there, 2 of them there. You aren't facing just one. If they're bullying you, you are not going in there as a 150, 160-pound dude up against 2 football player twins at 6 foot 220 or 230. Done. They're sitting on these videos because they know what's going to happen. If they would release them instantly, if they would show Karmelo Anthony did nothing wrong, they would. They'd release them instantly because that would cool everything down. Why? Because the chalk devils aren't gonna go and riot and burn crap down if they see that Metcalf did something stupid. But on the other hand, if the more melanated folks will go and, for righteousness, take TVs from Target, and fiery but mostly peaceful may happen again. I mean, they're already assaulting the Metcalf family and going after his brother now. I mean, sheesh. We haven't even got to court. They're hiding his videos, I think, my opinion, because they know these videos are going to cause a shitstorm. The BLM folks, the lunatics out there are going to go knucking futz. They don't care. It's always brown guy stab, brown guy should get away with it. They're going to be out there threatening juries. They're going to be doing a lot of crap. Or at least intimidating. How's that? They never even went to the same school. Oh, I thought they went to the same school. Was he actually in another school then? But everybody says he was the friend of one of the people in the Metcalf tent. That he was with an actual friend there. That knew that person. So, I just don't see. I'm not a wiener, but I doubt I would carry a pokey, shooty thing into a situation with 2 people that bully me because something could happen. As some of the kids he carries, I'm telling you, I've had some rough situations And I've only put my hand on my firearm under my shirt once. I don't even want to touch it. I have backed out of some situation where somebody goes, "Oh, you're a real pussy, aren't you?" No, I don't want to go to jail for putting holes in somebody. The time I put my hand on my firearm, I probably could have justified it. But shit, no. No, nobody I know that carries wants to poke holes in somebody unjustifiably or even justifiably. It's a last resort. And Karmelo Anthony, from what I know so far, does not look justified in any way. Barbara Havens, welcome. Heard that Soros NGO paid Carmelo's bail. The bail thing is annoying me a little. Rittenhouse, I know I hate to bring up another situation, but Rittenhouse, we had instantly access to shitloads of video evidence. I mean, it was all out there. Once again, they just sure didn't hide those videos, did they? But we had shitload of video evidence. There are still people today that think Kyle Rittenhouse went out hunting and ended brown people. I've heard people spout that still. Well, you know, he ended the lives of 2 or 3 brown people. No, he did not. Both those idiots that perforated were white. People still think that. But look what happened to his bail. His bail didn't get reduced. In fact, it got amped up. His went from $1 million to $2 million, even though we had a shitload of video evidence showing that he was chased. He was trying to go to the cops right away. We could see the video of the dude jumping at him with a firearm. We saw the video of the dude smacking him in the head with a skateboard. But he got a $2 million. This kid got his $1 million lowered to $250,000. Was it $250,000 or $500,000? But it got lowered way down. So I don't know who paid for it. I just know that I'm not seeing the equal treatment. We're not seeing the video evidence out there for us to see the news. I understand keeping things for the trial. I do get that. But it still comes back to me that if he was innocent, they'd release it. They'd release it, end it. This would be gone and done. Not even have to worry about. There wouldn't be a trial if there was something that was really self-defense. Sorry about that, guys. The Texan. It's obvious which family at this point has grace and which one has grift. I'm going to agree totally with the representative who's been in trouble with the law multiple times and done some real scurvy crap if you read about him. That representative, and then, yes, the followers or the friends or the supporters of Anthony are out there going after the Metcalf family. The dad has bent the knee from day one. You can say, oh, he believes in Jesus, but it seems very like he's more of a woke lefty. Very beta. Maybe even a little Kappa. But he's gone out of his way to be very, in fact, almost too lenient, too flaccid over a situation where he's lost a son. And yet they've still, his family, they've been swatted now twice, I believe. Now there are end-of-life threats against Austin's brother. A kid who, from everything I can see, hasn't said shit. So what in the holy crap is going on here? So yeah, Ryan Jones. I know I watch a lot of the law tubers, and I haven't heard any of them that are on the side of Anthony. Yes, Ryan Jones, you nailed it. I've watched a few of them myself. In fact, one of them I got a Principles of Self-Defense book from. Ordered that. Then I saw him on Timcast, and I've seen some others out there too. And you're right. I have not seen a single lawyer come out and say Anthony had justifiable self-defense. You're right. You are right. Anthony's lawyers had written, yes, he did. I saw that press conference, Ryan. Yeah, he said he shot 3 people in the back and stuff. I'm going, wow. Yeah, he's like, what the hell? Like I said, go look that dude up. I can't remember his name, but go look up his name and then go look him up. He is a real, honest piece of shit. My opinion. But go look that up. Wow. But yeah, you're right. They did say Rittenhouse, we saw him shoot 3 people in the back. Blah, blah. Like, we've all seen the footage. At least anybody who's cared to actually see facts. We saw the one dude chasing him, the crazy, nutty dude who has had issues with children and stuff, chasing him down. We saw the dude whacking him with a skateboard. We saw a dude jumping at him with a firearm. Didn't see any Kappens in the back. Didn't seize any Browns people either. So people still saying that crap. So yeah, Ryan, 100%. Now, some of these lawyers that, Ryan, you might mention, I'm sure you've heard the same thing or seen the same thing. They say, excuse me, they say that he was not justified, has no standing for justifiable self-defense for ending a life at that, what was going on. But they say there's a good chance he's going to get off. Because you're going to have fear, and a lot of these juries are not going to want to get involved in this, or they're going to be scared it's going to blow back on them, because sooner or later their names are going to get out. And they are going to be afraid. Hell, we've had judges that have had attacks at their houses or something. So it is not cool. But we've got a lot going on. And I'm worried that some of these judges are right. That maybe he's going to get off because of the fear going on. BLM threatening, kind of. And or he's going to get a very low sentence. Like, oh, you're going to get 6 months in and time served and probation for a year. Something like that. So, yeah. Let's see. The dude from NGN. Sorry, trying to catch up here. Dude from NGN says they have video of Kyle Rittenhouse shooting 3. Oh, my God. Yeah, wow. Well, Felontavious, yeah, the BLM playbook is grift, get a bunch of money, and then us upper folks who also want to scream about socialism and communism or fascism want to go buy ourselves big houses with that money. Ain't seen none of that money to go to actually help black lives. Whew. What it is, big, black mansion's bad, or I know not quite the BLM, but you're not going to see the video evidence. Fatal stabbing in the fucking heart of a teenager with a video. That's a good point, though. Yes, whoever released it would have a legal nightmare. You're right. But they could blur out with... even if I take time on my editing software that's freeware, I can blur out other stuff. You could blur out a lot, or there are ways to get that out there where you show, or even just audio, going, hey, if there's audio of it, going, well, listen to this. Listen to this going on. But I do kind of agree, Ryan, you're definitely more pretty right on that. It's going to be tough, and a lot of people don't play with editing software. They don't know the blurring. They don't know how to just make it really like a blur cloud where you can just hear the sounds and voices. So, but it's the very fact that the police seized every phone there and have really sitting on this makes me think that it shows bad things for Anthony. Or else they would just put it out there and go, hey, everybody in the news, look at this. Because even minors, they don't really have the, you are in a public place. You don't get privacy as much. Because there are videos on YouTube and other places of things happening around minors and stuff if they're in public. So I think it could get out there if they really thought it would end this. I really believe something would be out there showing Anthony was innocent, done, end this thing, if that was going to show that. But Ryan, I really think you may be right about some of that there. People are, even if there was a video floating around, somebody may be afraid of the BLM folks for, if they release it, there may be backlash because somebody's going to do the meta on it and find out about who it is. Or like you said, there's some liability they're worried about. So yeah. Oh, Anthony Phelan, real felon. Yeah, that Bunny, you're right. He is a real turd. Bronca, yep. Self-defense sexy to be in fear of your life, yes. In Illinois, that's where I'm at. It's the same way, even though we have insanely shit gun laws here. And our Tony Soprano-looking governor, fat pig, is trying to make it worse. He's going to make it so this state is going to totally lose everybody. 100%. This state, last one out the door, turn the lights off in this state. I'm telling you. It's getting so bad. I mean, there's a reason we're one of the top 3 states losing population and stuff like that. So we are hoping to escape across the river to Iowa sometime. It's just not as easy to just give up and sell and then go in debt again and stuff like that. Oh, let's see. But yeah, Texan, our self-defense is pretty much the same. You have to be in a real justifiable fear of your life. So yeah, exactly. That's firearm or knife. Once again, like I said, I've had concealed carry a long time, and anybody's had a concealed carry class in any state knows that, dude, get the frig out of the situation before ending a life if you can. That is not, stand your ground does not mean, hey, dude pushed me, I can poke and end him. Buddy says, don't think he'll get off. I hope you're right, but I got a feeling. I don't know. Let's say the video does show he did this. I don't think he's going to get what would be the normal punishment. How's that? I live just south of Frisco. It's not a community that's going to be sympathetic, I don't think. And the Frisco police aren't going to be bending a knee to a bunch of protesters. Our AG doesn't bend. I really hope you're right, Ryan. But what you have to worry about is the average person on that jury. We've seen a lot of juries in the past make stupid decisions, including some judges give in to mob fear. They are afraid of what will happen to the city, what will happen to themselves, or what if they're jurors, what will happen to them if they want to be able to say when the mob comes to them going, I voted innocent. So I hope you're right, Ryan. I really do. I hope you live in an area, and boy, a lot of us in this whole country like to think the Texans is going, screw that, we'll stand up. We stand up. I really think a lot of people really think of Texas that way. But I really hope you're right that nobody bends, that anybody that would be picked for a jury looks at all the evidence honestly and then makes a decision, and I hope they make the right one and stick with it no matter what. Steady boy, what is going on in New Zealand, my friend? How you feeling, buddy? Bend a knee to anyone. Dell, welcome. If the jurors let him off because of fear, white people should threaten them not to let him off or else. Thing is, that's the problem. There's a difference in, how do we say it? There's a difference in perspective. When something happens to the less melanated among us, we don't go out and burn shit down. Nobody's too much afraid of the less melanateds because we don't go thinking to get retribution. We need TVs from Target. We don't say, you know what? To help me feed my baby, I got to go steal some whiskey. So there's a difference, and we don't go fiery but mostly peaceful. So yeah, on average, the cracker types don't. I will say some of the lefties did, though, definitely in the summer of love, but it's not an average thing. Now, the BLM type folks, they are more than happy to attack. But yes, I agree with you. I am very tired of the, and unfortunately, it's a problem in the black community. And dude, you think you and I are tired of it? I know a lot of black people that are 1,000 times more tired of it. Because they are 12% of the population, and they a guy at the gym, he's 70. God, he's in good shape lifting. But he says that his whole family is disgusted with this. His one son is going to go into law enforcement, and he's freaked out about it. Or his grandson is going to law enforcement. But he gave him a statistic that's only like 3% of the population of black people that are like this. And the black community is just beside themselves. They can't get this 3 to 4% to stop it. So that's why we have so many black people per capita becoming police officers, because they want to stop this shit. They're even more tired of it than you and I are, Del. So yeah, and the problem is every time somebody gets mad at you for saying what you said, Del, that is crap, because every crime stat says you are dead on right. The problem is we're not supposed to speak the truth anymore. We're not. Now, I don't like that. I think it's stupid how we're not supposed to speak the truth. Sorry, just looking over at Rumble. So yeah, but no, you're right. Thing is, I watched an episode of Law and Order a long time ago. Probably 15 years ago, when I worked with a friend at a Sergeant Pepper's Auto Shop in Davenport, Iowa. We used to sit in the break room and eat lunch. We watched Law and Order. There was an episode of Law and Order where near the end, Michael Moriarty's character is talking to, I can't remember what Mrs. Green, her last name is. She's a black defense attorney. And she was screeching about racism. And he actually looked at her and goes, I don't know. For the last decade or so, I've only seen racism coming from one way. And that was back then. This has been going on, and we aren't supposed to talk about it. They call you a racist or whatever else as soon as you open your mouth. And now it's gotten really bad. But like I said, I have some darker skinned friends. One friend who smacked his daughter's mouth if she even spoke any Ebonics. He's like, we are not doing that. We are not going there. So I'm telling you, there is a good amount of the black community that's so just tired of this. One of my darker skinned friends said, send them all back to Africa. I was like, oh, dude, you can say that. Publicly. In public, I don't know. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, guys. They are not just withholding video evidence, but all the eyewitnesses that have been interviewed by the cops. Those statements are withheld for a grand jury, yeah. Yeah, very little is leaked out. And depending on how you look at it, that's good or bad. To me, the fact that they don't just let something out, saying, hey, witnesses have said that Austin Metcalf did this, started this, he was unreasonable, that, yes, Anthony was in fear for his life. Hey, here's a blurred video with audio just showing you, yeah, I'm sorry, and end it. That makes me think, oh boy, this could get furry. And the thing is, you know what's going to happen. If it does get furry, it's not just going to stay in Texas. It's going to spew out. It's like there's too much going on right now where the left is just waiting for something, some reason, something to try to rally the smooth brain troops around. It's bad when you have to escape to Iowa. Oh, Ryan Jones. Illinois is openly known as the most corrupt state in the country. It's one of the 3 highest taxed, one of the 3 highest, loss of population states. Yeah, and that's even with all the illegals Joe Biden tried to pump into it. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I live in an area called the Quad Cities. It's not 4 cities, don't ask me why. So it's got like Bettendorf, Davenport, some consider Eldridge part of it. It's got Moline, East Moline, Silvis, Milan, Rock Island. It's an area of about 350,000 people or so here. No, sorry, I'm sorry, that was wrong about this. 430,000, last I looked it up. 430,000 people in this area, in the metro area. And we're not tiny, we're not huge. But yeah, if you look now, right down the middle of the Quad Cities is the Mississippi River. Iowa on one side, Illinois on the other. Look at which side is growing, which side is not. Which side is building tons of shit, which side is not. Iowa is looking really good from my side of the river. We actually do most of our shopping and restaurants are going out, dog parks, everything on the Iowa side. So it's starting to get to the point where, geez, we might as well just live over there, get our gas over there. Gas is shitloads cheaper over there. Right across the bridge. And you save 40 to 60 cents a gallon. On a 31-gallon tank, that's a lot of gas. Ryan Jones, it's escaped to Iowa. That's Illinois, though. Illinois is a cluster flock. It is. And the bad thing is, I will say this openly, Illinois is home to some of the dumbest fucking voters in the country, next to maybe California and some of the transplants bunnies got in Colorado. Illinois people, I'm on a lot of Illinois policy pages and Facebook sites. People bitching about the taxes and bitching about the gas prices, bitching about the crap roads, bitching about our gun laws, bitching about this. Then you ask, who'd you vote for? Well, Democrats, of course. Who are you going to vote for the next election? Well, Pritzker. And I'm going to vote for the Democrats. That's when I just go, well, then you're fucking stupid. You are voting for the same people, putting them back in, and then coming on here and bitching. I actually went on there one time. I said, okay, anybody right here anybody in this thread that voted for Pritzker or any Democrat, get the fuck out now. Shut up. But that's Illinois. Illinois, the voters of Illinois are driving this state in the ground. That is why a lot of the counties want to leave. Seriously. We are overruled by Chicago. I think it's now up to 40 counties, which is just over a third of the counties of Illinois, want to either go to Indiana, Iowa, or form their own state. That's crazy. That's 40 so far. Problem is, Chicago, some of the little area around Springfield, and well, my county happen to be blue, and they're morons. It's enough to vote the whole state into the mud hole. The rest of the state is red as red can get. So yeah. Let's see here. Indiana is planning on holding a protest at Frisco Stadium 19th of next month. I know that they just had one here the other day. And I was watching, it was a guy talking about the quartering. He was saying, don't go to this. It's kind of it's a trap. He was kind of right. It didn't go real well, but yeah. Keep in mind that Frisco is built from the COVID imports. They're heavily right-wing and socially aware. Oh, no. Yeah, Ryan, that's a problem where a lot of people go to other states. They destroy their state. They're like locusts. They shit up their state, then go to another state. They run to Texas or Buckle Bunny there is from Colorado. And I also have, my wife's family has relatives in Colorado still, and they hate all the new people coming there. So they've destroyed the state. Now Colorado has some of the most draconian gun laws in our country suddenly, and they're trying to push more, even though the court's trying to push back, but they're still trying to enact insane laws. So yes, I get it. Yeah, Ryan, it's a problem. And the thing is, I don't understand is that's where I will say that leftism is a disease, because they will do things, destroy their state or wherever they live so badly they have to leave. But then they'll still go and do the same shit somewhere else. That is the very definition of insanity. Cat sitting behind me staring at me. Let's see. Steady boy, feeling so a little bit better? Dude. You gotta get in and smack your doctor around a little bit. It's a saying, YouTube. You gotta verbally smack him around a little bit going, dude, fix this shit. But yeah, righties that leave. That's why I'm worried about Texas sometimes. But Texas seemed to pull itself back from the abyss this time. But Jasmine Crockett is from Texas, so oh boy. All this clown show, showcasing Anthony is nothing but a ploy. Yes, 100%. 100%. There you go, the Texan. Nailed it. They are out there trying to get favor from people, change people's minds, get their narrative out, and they're trying to get... They're trying to muddy the jury pool. That's exactly what they're doing, is they're going to muddy the jury pool. So, yeah. Like I said, this all came, me getting annoyed because of, over my shoulder, the stream here on SpeakeaZy, where some of the dumb answers about justifiable life-ending self-defense and stuff like that. Just, God, it's not the guy running the channel, not SpeakeaZy himself, but God dang, some of these people I don't even want to have a pair of fingernail clippers. At least I'm on a waiting list to see a specialist. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, buddy. A lot of you guys, a lot of other countries want to talk about their national healthcare systems. And I know you've never given me shit, but, you know, steady boy. But man, I've seen so many people tout their healthcare systems in their countries of national healthcare. Then they're the ones waiting all the time. If I have an illness and it's bad as what's going on with you, buddy, we're in. I'm getting looked at the next day. So, oof. Just don't get worse, buddy. The trick the racists, BLM leftists have learned to take advantages of the system itself. Yes. There has to be due process. It takes a little time. They have learned to jump out in front of the media. Yes. Oh yeah, they do it all the time. Yes. They've been doing it for decades, even before BLM. How do you think every time, like Michael Moriarty on Law and Order 15 years ago, when he said, hey, racism only comes from one side. The crime statistics from the FBI, these cities, has been out there for decades. We've known who has been doing the crime, but nobody was allowed, even the police, to talk about it. And God forbid they target the black neighborhoods where the crime is coming from. Nope. How dare you send more police into the black neighborhoods? That's racist. But that's where the crime is. No, it's racist. But no, really, it's where the crime is. Nope, don't care. Racist. So, yeah, it's been going on a long time, the Texans. Poison the truth. 100%. Poison that well. Lots of Illinois liberals climbed down the shallow end of the gene pool. Oh, Felontavious, tell me, buddy, I know. I was born and raised in Illinois. Trust me, I'm not bragging about that in any way, shape, or form. My wife was born in the more sane state of Iowa. So, yeah, I have some of those Illinois liberals in my family who, even though they're liberals, have screwed this state into a mud hole with their supermajority now they've had for decades, still will openly say, well, yeah, the Democrats would do worse. Or the Republicans would mess it up worse. What the hell? Don't get much worse. America's a business, so it's operation corruption, yeah? Yeah? Pretty much. Oh. Robert Brown, the problem is America has sold the land to foreign corporations, and they are screwing. Some of them are, yeah. Which I do not like. I don't think we should sell I cannot go buy a piece of land in Mexico. I can't go buy a piece of land in China. In most countries, I cannot own land as a foreign, citizen. Why the fuck are we letting China buy any of our land? Why? Because they hold a lot of our debt and we have nothing real and tangible to offer in exchange for that debt. Well, that and our government are a bunch of jackasses just selling us out. They're getting their money. It's why they all go in worth $20,000, $30,000, or let's say they go in worth $200,000, $300,000, and suddenly, like AOC, she went in with a worth of maybe $200,000, and now suddenly she's been worth like $12 million. Huh? Doesn't seem to add up with her salary, does it? How did that happen? They're all walking millionaires. They don't work barely. Oh, so let's see, Robert. Even the hospitals don't give a shit about you because, I would agree to the most point on the hospitals. Some of them care, some do not. Our insurance companies. I don't want to blame our insurance companies too much because our hospitals have got a lot of culpability in this. The insurance companies get the bills from the hospitals and the drug companies. The drug companies and the hospitals are a bigger problem than our insurance companies. They are getting huge bills thrown at them. When a hospital charges you $50 for a Tylenol that I can go buy 8,000 of at Walmart for $50, that is a level of insanity. When I broke my collarbone as a kid, the x-rays and the little unit to set it and setting it, seeing the doctor, my parents paid that out of pocket. It was $500 for all that. X-ray. X-ray machines work pretty much the same as they did now. X-ray, the brace and everything unit, seeing the doctor, him pulling that thing up in place, picking the piece of bone up. $500. They paid it cash. Nowadays you do that, you're talking a $7,000, $8,000 bill. That's the hospitals charging that. So our insurance companies are a problem, but hospitals and drug companies are nailing us into the ground. One of the medications I take for my lung problem, from the same factory, it is less than a fifth in Canada. I know people with my lung problem that take trips to Canada, buy their medication, and come back and mail it back to themselves. They buy it there in person and mail it to themselves here because it's the same stuff, same factory, and it comes back over here cheap. I know people that don't buy omeprazole in America anymore. You get a 1 month amount for $25, $30. For $30, you can get almost a year's supply sent to you that is approved and full drug level and everything from other places. Strange how that works. Drug companies and the hospitals. We got to get back to where you could actually pay for something out of pocket in a hospital because it's not going to break you. Ryan says, no, a lot of people move down to right wing. I think I agree with you because for every left wingers move down there, I think you've gained 2 right because they're flocking to Texas to make Texas better, and because they think Texas may be the last stand. But yeah, and the last election kind of does show that. A lot of lefties are going, ooh, Texas is going to go blue. It went farther back towards the red, became more purple again. So you might be right there, Ryan, dead on. People from California. Jeff Alt, how you doing? I hear the line for Canada's suicide machine moves quickly. Whoa. Dude, I got a friend from Canada. He is in Arizona right now on his vacation. Hey, how's it going, buddy? He's actually trying to immigrate to America totally. He's done. He's done with Canada. He's like, it's nuts up there. He's like, it is worse than you know. I go, no, I've got a VPN. I've watched up there what's going on. But he goes, no, even that stuff. There's people that are scared to talk. He's like, nope, it's bad. He's like, the only thing worse is the UK. So yeah, oh, Jeff Alt, that is some scary crap. That they're crazy machines. Whoa. I mean, the reasons they're doing it too is just, well, I'm depressed. Well, here you go. It's a good job your socialized medicine. When COVID came around, the hospital ended hundreds of thousands of people for profit. Yes, I would say, well, it was a meme for a while, but it was proven a fact. Sorry. It was proven a fact. A guy who got ended in a motorcycle accident, decapitated, but they listed the cause of death as COVID. They were doing that for a lot of things, too. Somebody had a heart attack. COVID. No. Let's see here. Jasmine Crockett's from Houston. Oddly, the most diverse city in America. So there's a huge section of the city that are 80% minorities. That's where the Hoodrich Ho Crockett hails from. Everybody, okay, I haven't been to Texas in a long time, but everybody I know says that Texas is pretty solid, but Houston and a couple other areas are the big blue patches. So I'm thinking you guys need to put up a wall around them and show them that walls do work. Let's get some walls around them cities. Oof. Hey, by the way, walls don't work, so when we put these walls around, you won't mind. Anybody says walls don't work. Got all these people like, walls don't do work. Then you go, well, why you got a wall around your mansion and your big yard? Just asking. Why do you live in a gated community? That's a wall. No. Chinese, Japanese owned land. Yeah, too much farmland. Was it 300,000 acres are owned by Chinese companies now? Ugh. Playing in the same barrel group, yeah. BLM also recruit a liberal learning. Yes. Ugh. It's hard to find a lot of universities aren't leftist anymore, and that's a problem. This starts in grade school though. We used to teach grasshopper and the ant. Who was the good guy? The ant. Who was the jerk? The grasshopper. There are actually some schools now that teach the grasshopper and the ant and teach that the ant is the jackass and the grasshopper, the lazy jerkosaurus, is the good guy. We used to teach sticks and stones. Now we teach words hurt. So these kids now grow up thinking, ooh, words are violence. You said bad word to me that I don't like. You don't agree with me? Well, then I get to punch you. Or burn your Tesla. That's what we're raising. Lunatics. It's, as I call it, the everybody gets a trophy generations. It's not one generation, but it's at least a couple generations of them. What do you mean? Well, no, when our kids play Little League, there's no winners or losers. I played Little League. There was winners and losers. That's not the way life works. But that's why they get out in the real world. They're all on SSRIs and medications like crazy now. Because they can't handle it. The mommy and daddy told them everything came out of their mouth was rainbows and unicorn farts. And everybody's going to love it. So yeah. These tender little babies can't handle the real world. So they're losing it. That's why, boy, the doctors, hey, there you go. You're talking about drug companies and hospitals. They're loving it because they're pumping them up with all the money from these behavioral meds people are taking now. Then people take meds to offset the problems from the behavioral meds and offset the problems from them. It's like, boah. I know I'm behind in the chat, guys, but I like to read chat. Texan, Lyons Den, glad the algorithm brought you across my feed. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm a weird duck. I have a lot going on in my life between trying to help my brother take care of our elderly father. I have my own health problem. I've got my wife, our fuzzies. I try to help friends and neighbors with their cars here in my garage. It's like, so now I'll be gone the next 2 days for a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Well, I'm not going to be gone. It's here, but we're going to be bouncing in and out of the house. If I can stream, I will. Maybe I'll try it from my phone. I haven't done that in a while. But I appreciate that, the Texan. I try to be semi-entertaining. At least to myself. Sorry about not having my background lights on. I thought I was just going to come on and bitch and whine about SpeakeaZy stream a little, but got myself rolling again. But I appreciate that very much. And guys, if you are here, please hit a thumbs up just for a curiosity, because I tell you right now, when I've built other YouTube channels in the past, YouTube is tough mother these days. Like I said, I'm also on Rumble, and all my links are in the description for this video, so feel free to check them out. Yeah. But thanks, I appreciate that, man. First time you're streaming, I really enjoyed time and the content. I have to tap out for the night. Hey, no problem, Ryan. Thank you. And by the way, not only you guys, you guys have come in with a lot of great comments and insight and information that I get to look up now. So yeah, Lonely Fans is having a problem. And Bunny is on it. That's why Bunny's had that blue wrench, even when this was my old channel that YouTube yeeted. Because if you look back through my channel, you see some videos that say, what, Potato News Network, or PNN. Yeah, I had a channel, and I think, when YouTube yeeted me, with their censorship over Trump back in the day, I think I had around 340 plus videos. I think you only find like 10 left. They yeeted everything, then they gave me a couple strikes, and over nothing, they would tell me what it was. It was Trump. So yeah. Eric the Great, Black Panther America is garbage. Sometimes an emoji gets the point across. We've decided devolved into low vibe, entitled Jungle I'm not going to read that. Jungles, people that grow marijuana indoors, complain about power or fires created by them and ended firemen. Woo! Wow, that's coming in warm. Whew. Stolen valor and intelligence and no conscience are the furthest from God as humanely possible. That's dead right. At the end of life, Americans are the type of people that film. Yike! Americans? Really? All Americans? I don't think so. I don't think Americans are like that, but okay. I'm an American, and I don't think so. Not sure where you're going with that, but okay, if you take a shot at America, feel free. That's your right. It's many a Buckle Bunny in my life. Great handle. Wow. Honestly, I've known Buckle Bunny a long time. I did not know that actually meant something. But texting and telling me that means something. Okay, well, see, I'm learning crap tonight. Crazy how every gas station you go to is owned by an Indian. Well, there's reasons for that. There are reasons. When people immigrate here legally, depending on your business acumen, you can get about 5 years with no taxes. They will also, our government will give you money as a legal immigrant to set up your business. And it seems like they know that we all like our cars and want to buy gas. So that's what they do. It's become a thing. But yeah, our government gives new immigrants to America money to make business, to help start a business, but not actual born here citizens. So take that for what it is. Yay, American government. That's kind of why I am all for Trump just digging through all this corruption and waste. If they want to give our money away to people freshly here like crazy, not the citizens here, not the veterans here, not our children, not take care of our roads, want to pump billions into BS wars, then they don't deserve to be able to grift off our tax dollars and line their pockets with it. So get them, Trump. I would say get them, Pam Bondi, but so far, Spam Blondie there hasn't done it for me. Hopefully she's doing more behind the background, but man, I'm still hoping for Cash and Dan Bongino to really be doing some work. But Pam talks. She has tons of time to be on the news. I don't see her doing a lot. Can't build a wall around New Zealand. We're an island. Well, you can still build a wall. You can put a wall on your edge. Everything's an island if you look at it big enough. Seriously, no matter how big it is, sooner or later it's an island. Jeff O, this is the first time the algorithm has brought you here. Really? Yeah, the algorithm don't like me. I'm a mix between a mentally challenged person, an angry redneck because I grew up in the country. I was like a Midwest Crocodile Dundee in the day I used to disappear in the Mississippi River by myself in the islands for weeks at a time. And throw in a pinch of salty cracker, and then there you go. If you know who that is. Of course, everybody knows who he is. But I'm glad it led somebody here. Oh, man. My doctor is battling with my insurance company over my insulins. Yes. I'm on 3 insulins. Yeah. Thing is, I know a lot of people whine, but I give our insurance companies more credit than I do our hospitals and our drug companies. Because look at the flow of things. You go to the doctor, you go to the hospital. Where's that money come from? Your doctor, your hospital, and the drugs they prescribe all flow, and plop right on the desk of the insurance companies. And you don't think the insurance companies are going, yay, all these drugs now cost double what they did a couple years ago. Or wait a minute, why is this doctor now charging $1,000 for a guy just to walk in and say, hey, I smashed my thumb with a hammer, when it cost $500 before? So yeah, it's insurance companies. I am not saying they're great people, but you got to look at the flow of what's happening here. Insurance companies are one step above you and me. Doctors and hospitals and drug companies are all above them. It's just trickle down economics. It's trickling, and I'm tired of getting trickled on. Is YouTube owned by the Chinese? No. No, it is not. It is owned by Alphabet Inc., which is an American company. TikTok is owned by the Chinese. You can't even trust people these days. It's dangerous. It depends where you live. Where I live in the Quad Cities, it's really not that dangerous here. During the most violent Summer of Love stuff, it was actually still pretty dang quiet and safe here. I live in an area where I'm lucky enough. I'm not rich. My house is not huge. It's probably actually undersized compared to most people's houses. It's a neighborhood where kids are still allowed to walk around in groups alone. So it's nice. It's still a pretty nice thing. It's as big as 430,000 people this area is. It's very rural as a city. Not a lot of big, huge buildings, but a lot of trees and stuff. We're very, very Midwest big. How's that? And I know if you live in a big city of millions of people going, 430,000 people, that ain't that many. I get it. But it's actually a good size area. If you look up the Quad Cities, you can start with like Davenport, Iowa. But if you look on like a night map and you see how big the flare is, we're a big area. Let's see. No, YouTube is not owned by Chinese. Boy, I would say that right now, if somehow Alphabet sold YouTube to the Chinese, that would probably trigger a government response. The TikTok thing is bad enough. TikTok in America is not the same as TikTok in China. They do not allow their kids to see any of the shit they put on in front of our kids. Social engineering. All right, guys, I'm a little longer in this than I thought I was going to be, actually. Yeah, an hour and a half. Woof. Sorry, losing my voice a little bit. Been a rough couple days. I ended up under a lawnmower tractor, and I had to pick up on myself on its side because the hydrostat belt shot off. If you don't know what that is, the rear end, the engine has a belt running to the rear end, and it's like a limited slip transmission. Well, the belt got something in and shot the belt off, and what a pain in the ass put on a Cub Cadet. Insulin dependent. Woof. With my lung problem, I have a few drugs I'm dependent on. And it's a rough road to hoe there, Bunny. I get you. All right, guys. One last thing here. I'm going to ask again. I know some of you weren't here. What do you think of the Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf thing? Do you think there is any justification for life-ending self-defense out of that situation? And if you say yes, I'm not going to ridicule you. I may say you're wrong, but I'm not going to ridicule you. I'm not here for an echo chamber. If you agree, cool. If you don't, hey. I just came on because on SpeakeaZy stream here, the idiot comments I saw. Well, if anybody touches me, I get the right to... No, you do not. I spouted before. I've taken concealed carry classes. I got friends' dads who are lawyers. Your justification for life-ending self-defense, you don't get to do it if somebody just touches you. And I will argue that to my last crappy little breath with Tim Pool. Tim Pool, well, somebody touches me, I don't know, they may be ending my life, I don't know. So I'm to not take a chance. I get to do that. No, you don't. Tim is just an accident waiting to happen if that's what he thinks. So, yeah. I don't do TikTok. I'm not a fan. I don't do it because I don't want TikTok on my devices. What's the other one? Chinese. Come on, guys. Chinese owned AI. DeepSeek. I haven't done DeepSeek yet, even though a friend of mine he is a computer nerd over in Scotland. Sorry, buddy. You are. He says he's gone through and he's read some of the code that he's allowed to, and he says it looks like it really can't dig in deep into your shit, especially if you have little protections on your computer. You know, certain firewalls up, or I run a VPN with some other stuff, so... like right now, I'm running my VPN at this very moment, so, haha. I'd recommend a VPN for anybody. I don't care if you're not just looking at stuff from other countries or, you know, HBO Max from other countries. It's nice to have that scrambling so your provider can't tell what you are and aren't doing. Also, some of your stuff coming in is a little more safe. Like the camera on my phone is hard for somebody to get in and turn on, so yeah. Jeff Alt is a lucky human. I live in a constitutional carry state. I don't. Unfortunately. And it's a polite society. 100%. An armed society is a polite society. Exactly, Jeff. FAFO state. Fuck around and find out. Hells yeah. We have stand your ground and castle doctrine. Yes. Funny thing, people don't realize, Illinois has castle doctrine. If somebody comes into my home, yeah, I get to stand my ground. Problem is, we are also a stand your ground state. Funny thing is, Iowa is not a castle doctrine state. Weird as crap, since they're constitutional carry. They are also, yeah, they are true constitutional. Are you, Jeff? I know Iowa, you can open carry. You still have to have a permit to carry concealed in Iowa, if I remember right. Yeah, but not open carry. Over in Illinois, you can't open carry at all. But I have my CCW, CCL, what do you want to call it? But yeah. So yeah, stand your ground. We have stand your ground. We have castle doctrine in Illinois, but we also have absolute shite gun laws. And the problem is, even with the stand your ground and castle doctrine, if somebody breaks in, even if they put a round in me first and I FAFO them, they found out, there's a chance I'm going to get very huge trial for, the M word. The Mordor. I Mordored them. I sent them to the Lord of the Rings. Yeah. There's a good chance I'm going to get prosecuted for it. Hardcore. And, yeah. Almost makes me wish I was stupid enough to have cameras in my house. Which anybody that does that needs their brain examined. Does anybody, please tell me none of you know somebody that has cameras in their house? I had a friend. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's a camera. My wife likes to look in on me and the kids when she's at work. I'm like, you realize if she can look at that on her cell phone, other people can too. That is crap. I was watching a show, was a radio show called Kim Commando Show. She does tech. And there's an ad for some camera system in your house and outside your house. We can do cameras in your house. You can see when your kids come home. You can see when your kids doing their homework. You can watch this. And then right after, first caller after the commercials, this lady calls in, yeah, I was looking to get in a camera system and this and that to security. But I was worried, can somebody break into these things if they're internet connected? She goes, oh yeah, these things are horrible. They're horribly unsafe. Anybody with a little bit of hacking knowledge could tap right into this. He's like, probably the government's watching through it. And I'm going, wait a minute, you just added this on your show. And she controls her show. She's owned this a long time. You got an ad for it on your show. Why are you doing ads on something you admit is horrendously easy to break into, where somebody can just spy on you, your kids, or whatever? Ugh. If you can unlock it with your cell phone, so can other people. The cameras are made in China. Yes, they are. That's another thing I'd like to get back here. That's why I would never have a security system with cameras in my house connected to the internet. Out in my yard, you want to stare at my yard or out behind my garage, feel free. But if I ever get a security system with cameras in my house, they will not be connected to the internet. They will just communicate with a base station hidden somewhere in my house that will not be internet connected. Not be internet connected. But I'm not going to pee on the Kim Commando show, but it would really, in my opinion, thought it was stupid that she has an ad for this. Then the first caller is talking about these things. She goes, oh, all these things are unsafe. But yeah, I could not believe his wife had that camera up in their living room looking at him. Well, she doesn't trust me around the kids. Why are you married to her? That's insane. Camera she can look at on her phone. Whew. What is wrong with people? All these ads show cameras in houses. You can look on your dog. Yeah, so can anybody else. And they go, hey, look, nobody's home. Let's go. Jesus. Oh, Jeff. That's why another reason I kind of want to move to Iowa. Constitutional carry state. Even though Illinois doesn't recognize anybody's concealed carry. But thankfully, 30 states recognize my concealed carry. Which is funny because if you look at go look at a concealed carry reciprocity map, half the states around me are constitutional carry. I'm almost surrounded by them. Oh, you're in Ohio. Ooh, been a while since I've been to Ohio. I used to do a lot of urban exploring because I traveled a lot. And plus, my family traveled a lot for fun growing up, so I've been a lot of places. Yes, Ohio. Wow, I didn't realize it. I was looking at the map earlier, so yeah, Ohio is constitutional. Jeez. What is it, 28 states now are constitutional carry? It's more than half the country. Kit the Alchemist. As an independent conservative leaning, I support the right to bear arms and self-defense. I just jumped into the conversation, but race aside, that's where I'm still stuck. Also, assault is a crime. 100%, Kit. Yeah. And I agree with you. I get people, well, you wear Trump hats. You're a Republican. Nope. Not a Republican. I call myself a centrist with a slight conservative leaning. Maybe. Even though nowadays I am a total conservative because the rug has been pulled out from under me. I ain't budged. I've been here in the center this whole time, but now the rug has been zip, clear to the left. Now suddenly I'm on the right side of that rug. Don't know how that happened, Kit, but dang. Probably where you're at. Yeah, until a few years ago, I had never voted a straight ticket in my life. But right now, Democrats are so out of their flipping minds. And they're out there doubling and tripling and quadrupling down now on what lost them the election. They're not backing off. You got states refusing to take biological men out of girls' sports. They are backing MS-13 gangs. A judge and his wife in Arizona, at least his wife, got arrested for housing a Tren de Aragua illegal alien. I mean, what in the crap is going on? What are the lefties doing? I mean, the right, I'm not a big fan of the right either. There's a lot of people I like to see going there too. But geez, right now the Republicans are too flaccid and wimpy to do this stuff. If you can bitch at the left, but they got the balls to do stupid shit, crazy shit, and stand up for what they believe in, no matter how dumb it is. Republicans, oh, slow down. Let's think about this for a long time. Well, we don't want to be as crass as they are. Well, just, I don't know. Oh, by the time they get done sitting there whining and bitching and moaning, the left has already got done what they wanted. Republicans sold us to China. Which Republican, Jeff? Because depending on which one you say, we might be agreement on that. Oh, Russ. If you're trying to be insulting, don't come in and tell me where to keep my cows. You gotta. With Democrats, but they were the home of the Southern slavers. Yes, they were. They've been playing the Truman Show on us all. I have a point there. Moderator her. What the fuck have the leftists done? Not sure what you're trying to say there. Stop ranging moderator her. Nixon. Yep. Okay. Now, see, I also have a problem with Ronald Reagan, though. Half my family is so far left, they make Barack Obama look like a Republican. Yes. The other half is so far right, they make Ronald Reagan look like a Democrat. So I'm stuck between these. I piss off half my family when I say Ronald Reagan is a criminal and should be in jail. Oh. Me and old Ronnie, boy, you can look up stuff about him. I was a child, but man, oh man, everything I read about the guy afterwards, what a dick. Kit, I think extremists are on the far end of each side, but somewhere in the middle are the real 100%. The only difference right now, I'd say, Kit, is the extremists on the right side aren't the ones out doing summers of love. They're not burnings and attackings. The only thing you see from the crazy far right is J6. That's it. You can find 40, 50 years of crazy stuff from the left. That's the problem. And I had to go look that up recently. Ex-Marine friend of mine likes to send me a bunch of stuff. He's like, no, dude, you better go look. The left is a little crazier for longer than you thought. And I started looking at the stuff he sent, and I'm like, oh, shoot, you're right. Even back to hands up, don't shoot. That was the left. They've been burning, poking, and prodding, and summer of loving for a long time. So, oof, I did not realize that. But yeah, I would say you're right. There's crazies on both ends. But right now, the craziest, most violent ones are on the left. Oh, Russ, I respect anyone that puts their issue out. I'm curious why you think the left is great. I don't think the left is great. I'm not sure if I'm getting you right there, Russ. I don't want to state you wrong. No, I don't think the left is great. I think the left is violent. I think the left is nuts right now. I can't vote for a lefty. For the first time in my life, the last ticket I voted on was fully center or right. I can't vote for somebody on the left. The lefties are nuts right now. I mean, especially in my state, I can't find a single one I can vote for. And I feel almost kind of dirty in a way that I am voting more towards the right. But I've had tons of times in my life where I've been so mad at the right. Let's think about 9/11 and the subsequent wars afterwards that we were lied into. Freedom fries. If you're not with us, you're against us. Hey, wait a minute. All the weapons inspectors said that Iraq doesn't have these things. Too bad. We're going because I say we do. That stuff. Ugh. You know, President Cheney. So I don't know. I just think the left is crazy. I mean, the left is out scratching and damaging and destroying people's cars, putting bullet holes in things and burning things. So I think the left's nuts. That's just me. Kit, Ronald Reagan was the first actor. I kind of liked him, though, back then. He came to my school, pretty liberal. But I think he was acting the whole time. Thing is, he purported to be very conservative. But yes, Kit, you're right. He was more liberal. He gave amnesty and stuff like that. He says the only good government is small government, yet government grew bigger under his administration than it had ever in the history of our country. So he said one thing, but always did another. You always had to watch old Ronnie. Of course, now we can maybe think he just didn't know what the frig he was doing. So, Russ, sorry, a buck of money. I joined late today. So live and wanted. Hey, no problem, Russ. No, I understand. No, I don't think the left. I think the left right now is crazy. Now, I'm just messing with you, Russ. Hey, I misspell stuff all the time. My big thumb's on a phone. Whoa. And I swear to God, it shouldn't be called autocorrect. It should be called auto-incorrect. But no, thanks for stopping by. Always, hey, stop in if you disagree. Really, I have no problem with that. Dan Connor. Uh-oh. Here we go. You claim not to be Republican, but I sense you're conservative in values. Identify these values. What's really strange is there are so many. I could probably start arguments with anybody here on a few things I don't like. Okay, and actually, well, you may be a little right on that because it depends on the Republican or the conservative. There are some things I could argue to them so mad they would just totally dislike me and call me a leftist after a minute. But I do consider myself a centrist with a slight conservative leaning. I've always been pretty center. I'm not going to lie. There was times I leaned a little to the left because, like I said, Iraq war stuff. The right was crazy. Dick Cheney got to pop somebody and just, no, don't alcohol test me for 24 hours. So there's some times I've had problems with the right, sometimes the left. I maybe waver a little, but I'm definitely more into the right category now because sanity's pushed me there. The left has gone knuckin' futz. I can't look at the left right now and go, yeah, you're doing good work. Keep supporting MS-13 and Tren de Aragua and biological men and girls' bathrooms and stuff. No, I can't do it. Higher taxes, bigger government, oh my, you know. Woof. Oh, sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan. That's me. I get going and I go. So since I'm probably going to get off here in a little bit, so I got to get up real early yet. I think the left was infiltrated by the way of the Clintons. Yeah. Blackmail and collusion. Oh. I did some digging into the Clintons with a friend some years ago, and wow. The amount of people that are no longer with us that were around the Clintons, if I'm telling you right now, wow, you have a better chance of winning the lottery 30 times in 1 year than all these people around the Clintons coming to weird ends. Like one guy somehow shot himself with a bow and arrow. Another guy drowned in the ocean, even though he was so scared of water, he wouldn't even sit in a bathtub. No bathtubs in his house, only showers. Another guy popped himself in the head twice in the back of the head. Weird how that works. So there's a lot of weird ones around them. Oh, thanks, kid. I appreciate it. I'll be a little I'm always a little weird on my time. Sometimes I'll do a red eye stream, sometimes regular. I do more streaming than videos, and I'm not super regular, but thank you very much. Let's get back to Dan here. There's too many offshoot political mini groups that want to pick and choose values from Dems or Republicans, call themselves the good guys. Yes, 100%. And there's some big media groups on the right who are doing that. I do not know if I trust them. Was it the Daily Wire? Is that the group? They are very suspect. In fact, they seem to be losing people because of they seem to be kind of a grift. They're more worried about the money than they are the politics. I think the politics are a way to end to me. Ends to a mean to them. Mean to the end, 4 a.m. Mr. Miles, my friend, how you doing, buddy? What am I doing up? I got jazzed up and annoyed at the live stream going over my shoulder where they were saying some absolute stupid crap about Karmelo Anthony being justified in what he did to Austin Metcalf. And I had to come on and talk about it. We've gone on from there. So how you doing, Mr. Miles? Mr. Miles, this is good. Nice, Kit. Yeah, Mr. Miles he's one of my pretty regular ones, just like Bunny is. That's why those two have the little blue wrenchy things, because they've been around. Bunny and I have been, holy crap, Bunny's been, oh man, Bunny, you've been mod on what, 3 or 4 of my channels. Woof, woof. A couple that don't exist anymore. YouTube yeeted them, and one of them got yeeted by my partner I was doing the channel with, had a divorce, and got real depressed for a while and yeeted our channel. Whoops. Don't let anybody be the sole person with the passwords and everything else, by the way. Little lesson. Oh, Mr. Miles, you got to come in and do that. I see you, buddy. You don't have to be doing that. The Democrats doing amazing work. They're choking themselves out, and all we have to do is sit back and let it happen. The thing is, the Republicans have a great way of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. They do. There are a lot of Republicans out there that don't like Trump either. Why? Because Trump is making them look just as bad as he's making the Democrats look. These are deep state people. These are government loyalists. They go in and grift all the time. Elect me one more time. I swear I'll get this. I'll fight for you. 20 years later going, elect me one more time. I swear I'll get something done. Trump comes in and does more in 2 months than half these people do in 20 years. Makes them look stupid. It shows everybody in the country, Democrat and Republican alike, hey, these guys in Congress, they ain't doing jack shit. They're just up there to collect the money. They're grifting off us. As they're making laws, they can go buy stocks. They get all this other money flowing in. They're selling us out. They ain't doing jack shit. Nobody's saying, Biden said he couldn't do this shit. Trump just comes in and does it. And wait, that's legal? Yeah. So I agree with you, Mr. Miles, but I do not trust a Republican not to screw it up. That's why I call them the Republicans. Because they can't not kicking their toe into the dang coffee table in the middle of the night. They can't actually stand up for the morals they say they believe half the time. Not saying all, but on average, they can't seem to do it. Russ Shippian. If I'm saying that wrong, buddy, I'm sorry. I consider myself a centrist, slight left-leaning. No problem. Because that means me at the slight right and you at the slight left, we are where most Americans are. Most Americans are, you take the center and you go a little bit out, maybe 10 degrees out on each side, that's America. The people on the far left and the far right, that ain't the rest of us. Most of us, why do you think always in the elections, always talk about having to convince the undecided voter, the voter that's not a member of a party normally? Because that's where most of us are. They all have their crazy loyalists, the cultists. But yes, Russ, you and I are where America is. Whether you're watching even somebody as far right as Steven Crowder or a little bit left as Tim Cass, or if you're watching Russell Brand. He's left. I watch him regular. I think most people are within a certain degree of the center. And that's just what I think. Let's see here. What's your take on Ukraine? Oh, Russ, buddy. I was going to go to bed, but you know what? We're going to go a little longer here. All right. Let me see here. Thank you, Mr. Miles. All right. What's my take on Ukraine? We shouldn't be involved. I am tired of bailing out Europe. The European Union has a GDP the same size of almost as America. Why are we taking care of shit in their backyard? Why aren't they picking up the dog shit in their own backyard? Why are they not spending all of their money taking care of their wars? If it's so important and they're so scared Putin's going to march across Europe, why isn't Europe stopping them? Why are we getting involved? Now, if Mexico came after America, do you think Europe's going to be sending us a penny? No. They're going to go, that's your backyard. So that's my take on Ukraine. We shouldn't be involved. We should not. Now, Russ, here's where I'm going to get in trouble with some people on the right. I don't think we should be involved with Israel either. Because, not for the reason you think. I think if somebody's going to win, I want Israel to win out of the two. But I think we need to get the fuck out of the way. Everybody needs to shut the F about Israel, turn their back, like in Star Trek Next Generation. Turn their backs like the Klingons did, excommunicate that whole war for a while, and go, hey, do what you guys need to do. We'll talk to you in a year or two. Other than that, leave a message for the next year or two. Everybody in the world, UN, other countries have gotten in the way of this stupid generations-long war, and now it's made a war, like in the Star Trek original episode, was it Taste of Armageddon? Where they fought a war with computers, so it was clean and pretty. It just kept going and going and going for hundreds of years. This war's been going on for decades and decades and decades because everybody gets involved and stops it. If World War II was fought this way, like Israeli crap, World War II still be going on today. Somebody needs to win. We all need to turn our backs, let it go, let somebody win, get it done. But I do not believe we should have anything to do with Ukraine. Nothing. Sorry, I missed something here. What did I miss? Dan straight? Oh, damn straight. I got you. I got you, buddy. He means gay, happy YouTube. Don't get triggered. Oh, no. What did I say, Mr. Miles? Oh, boy. All right. For sure, it's sad we aren't all in the same boat. Curious about the Ukraine. Yes. Ukraine was considered one of the most corrupt countries. Yes. One of the top 3 most corrupt countries in the world. Should be involved with it. Suddenly we went from that to 180 going, we gotta help Ukraine. They're so amazing. What the frig are we talking about? That's not even near us. Let them handle their shit. Get your pooper scooper out there, Europe, and take care of your own crap for once. We're tired of it. Americans are tired of driving over their potholed roads, tired of our food prices being high, tired of our medical costs high, tired of all the bullshit going on. We get blamed no matter what. Whether we get involved or we don't get involved, we get blamed. We're tired of the shit. We do not want to be involved. I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of Democrats going, if we don't stop Russia, they'll go take over Europe. Then they turn around and go, oh, Russia can't even beat little Ukraine. Make up your mind, Democrats. But yeah, neocon Republicans are just as bad on the damn war. Let's see. Mexico kills more Americans than any other country or terrorist group combined. Yes. Yes, it does. Jeff, poof. Tell you what, you guys up later speaking a lot of damn truth. I don't know if it's being tired or just cranky. Wow. Death, destruction, disease, and horror. That's what war is all about. It's what makes it a thing to be avoided. Ooh, Mr. Miles, I know what you did there. Oh, you thought you'd get me since I'm up at 4 a.m. Nice try, buddy. That is a direct quote from Captain Kirk from the episode Taste of Armageddon. Nice try, buddy. Ooh, respect. Dang, man, you snuck that right in there. But yes, Jeff Alt, you are 100% right. And we keep letting it happen. It's time we, honestly, I'm not a fan of getting us involved in wars, but Mexico is on our border. They are a direct threat to the United States of America. I would say we send in our military and Mexico becomes our next 3 or 4 states, or let's say a territory for the next 50 to 100 years, then maybe they can lobby for statehood. Time to clean out the cartels, get that country brought up out of the crap hole it is, and clean it up, and maybe someday in 100 years it can become a state, or 5, 4, whatever. Yeah. Recipient, while the U.S. is donating current equipment that we are already replacing in Ukraine, doesn't cost us anything because it still costs us something. We have sent over $300 billion over there. So when I hear right-leaning people bitch about what we sent to Israel, we've already sent more to the Ukraine in this one little war than we have ever in total sent to Israel. That is nuts. We've sent direct money. We send tons of other stuff, not just older military equipment. We've sent some newer stuff, too. And we've got our people over there. We show them. We set it up, aim it, get it all ready, and just tell them, push that little red button. But it's not Americans doing it. We have pretty much declared war against Russia, and it's dangerously stupid. We just need to not be involved. And why isn't Europe doing their own shit? Why does nobody do their own shit? They crap on us no matter what we do. Here, imagine this. Imagine if everybody in America became isolationists today. Everybody woke up today and said, that's it, we're done. We're closed off from the world. We're pulling back. All of our military is coming home. Everything's coming home. We concentrated 100% on us. Technologically, financially, economically, you name it. All on us. This country, one, would become way, way advanced over other countries. Every other country. We would leap. Within 20 years, we'd be 100 plus years ahead of every other country in the world, or the whole world. But the world would fall to crap without us. And I know that's arrogant, but look what's going on in the world right now. The world, how many people know that Pakistan and India are getting this close to a nuclear conflict? There is crazy shit going on there too. The world's going to shit. We are barely holding it together now. I'm not sure how much we can do, because sooner or later we're going to get distracted enough. China's going to make a move on Taiwan. Then what? So, yeah. We got to watch Turkey. We got to watch this India-Pakistan thing. We got stuff going on in South America. There's crazy stuff going everywhere. Oh, let's see. Whole much laundered money. Yes, Mr. Miles is right. Half the money going to Ukraine is being laundered right back into the pockets of people in our government. 100%. Mr. Miles is 100% right. That's a huge rabbit hole. Like the snow up his nose explains the corruption. Yes, yes. All right, Russ, you're on tonight, bud. Is Russia a friend of the U.S.? I don't think they're a friend. I do not think they're a friend. I don't trust Putin. Putin is if you read about Putin's history, he is not a good guy. But Putin does respect power. He respects strong people. Being ex-KGB and stuff, he is used to that military mindset, strength through power. You look at the guy that's strong, you got to watch him. You got to respect strength. The weak dude you don't respect. The guy you can push around, the guy that can't poops himself. You don't respect that. A guy that goes, hey, Vlad, I'll melt the Kremlin if you mess with me. That guy you go, yeah, right. But there's part of your brain going, shit, he might. You got to worry that he might if you push too far. But I don't think Russia is a friend. I think Russia is an enemy. But I don't think they're the enemy that our government, Democrat and Republican, both like to make them out to be. It is China. China is the biggest threat to the United States and the world right now. Yep. But so many people in our government have their little hands out to China and are raking in money from China that they're selling us out. Russia is not a friend, but they are a speck. The very fact that the great Russian military cannot take out Ukraine. You'd go back 70 years ago, they would have rolled over Ukraine if they wanted to. Now they do not have that. Russia is not what it used to be. So whether I like Putin or not, which I do not, I think Russia is an enemy? Yes. Do I think they're our big enemy? No. We have bigger. I'd put them at number maybe 3 or 4. But they're not as dangerous to us as China and a few other places. So nope, to me, not a friend. What do you think, Russ? Are they a friend? I was born during the Cold War. I think I was. Yeah, I was too. Okay, yeah. That thing lasted a long time. Russia wanted to join NATO after USSR collapsed. U.S. wouldn't let them. Yeah, that was stupid, Mr. Miles. That would have brought Russia and the United States much closer. Instead, the United States said no and pushed them away and made an enemy out of them. That was dumb. Russia tried multiple times to join NATO, and America was the one saying, nope, that was dumb. That was real dumb. Russia, you don't believe Russia's our enemy? They want to be left alone. I think you're partially right, but that's why I say they're not our biggest enemy. They are an enemy, but I don't think they're our biggest enemy. And yes, I do think if they were left alone for the most part, we'd be okay. I'd say you're still keeping your eye on that guy. You're still shooting him a stink eye once in a while because you can't totally trust him. But yeah, you might be right. I think Russia they don't have enough strength to really sustain a monster war. If we keep dicking around in all these wars and spending our money and shit, we're not going to have it either. Got our eye on too many places right now. Now, Russia's a big reason we won WW2, 100%. But I'm going to say this arrogantly, America's an even bigger reason we won WW2. I believe by all the things I've read and looked at and watched, if the United States hasn't come in when they did, everybody would be speaking some German right now. At least a lot of people. Yes, I agree, Russ. Yes, thank you. I believe when all these countries crap on us all the time, boy, if America pulled back and really became isolationist, which Trump isn't trying to do. He doesn't mind being in part of the world just fairly. Time to stop being taken advantage of. So yes, I think the world would go to crap without us. I think Russia is a friend or enemy, much like U.S., much like Trump himself, show respect to respect you. Yes. Well, you got to lead by strength. Russians, if you look through history and time, you show weakness to Russians, they will get you. Russia looks for weakness. Do not show weakness. Yeah, you can't show weakness to Russia. If we showed weakness, that's why they started doing what they did under Biden. They show weakness. We showed weakness. That's why they took over some stuff under Obama. We showed weakness. Trump, ain't none of that happening. But I do think that Putin thinks he's got us over a barrel right now. He knows Trump doesn't want to escalate this war. He knows Trump doesn't want this to turn into a huge thing. He knows we got to watch China. So he did this attack on Kiev the other day going, what are you going to do, America? Can you really? Are you really going to go after us? Don't know if you can. We know Trump doesn't want a big war. They may be pushing it. Thanks, Bunny. We have quote the electric viewpoints here tonight. Eclectic viewpoints. Oh, yeah, Mr. Miles. Dude, buddy, if you go back through, look at the chat, everybody has been on it tonight. Like I said, everybody up late's coming in some burning questions and outlooks and views. Russia being Ukraine, looking at Russian history. Russia, Ukraine was part of Russia. Yes, it was. Hell, the people in the Donbass region still consider themselves Russians. A lot of people don't know that Ukraine already had a civil war going on internally. And the civil war was in the Donbass was fighting to be not part of Ukraine. They want to be part of Russia. So, Russia just consider those are their people, said, well, we'll bring you home. Australian Scolger, live from Australia. Hey, buddy, what's up? Dude, I'm going to apologize to you right now because if you ever go back earlier in this stream and see, there was somebody on the stream behind me over my shoulder there. It was an Australian talking about self-defense rights and everything else and your right to defense and when you can do things and violent and everything. But you guys don't have the same right to carry things over there. I got friends in Australia who told me that even a lot of the non-lethal self-defense stuff you guys can't carry over there. So I don't know. So I was kind of making fun of one of your fellow compatriots, so I apologize for that, but welcome. Yeah, I got a good amount of people I talk to still over there. Amazing about YouTube. You find friends in all countries. Russ, I suspect you and I are similar in age, Lyons Den. Could be. My cat's getting angry. He wants food. Ain't happening, buddy. It's not your breakfast time. Don't even try attacking me. You leap over here, your big 15-pound butt, and we're going to have a problem. Hope you stick around. We like several viewpoints. Oh, 100%, Mr. Miles. Oof. Dang, Mr. Miles. 2 a.m. in California makes you kind of frisky, too. Ukraine is part of the USSR. Yeah, you guys are really on. Dang. Their connections to Russia go back even further to the very birth of Russia. Yes. Ukraine basically created Russia. Man, you guys. Why can't Trump send the Air Force to Ukraine? Why would we want him to? I just don't know why we'd want him to. because that would escalate the war. We would end up with all-out war. Plus, if we sent a big part of our Air Force there and distracted ourselves that much, that's the only thing China's waiting for. China is the threat. If we distract ourselves, put a minuscule bit too much of our military, our energy, our money, our eyeball onto Russia, they're going to move on Taiwan. They're going to move on more than Taiwan. They may actually move on Australia. They've got eyeballs on Australia too. And Australia is better armed than dang Canada by far. But I've got friends in Australia that say they are damn nervous about China. Damn nervous. So I don't think we can send our Air Force. We cannot amp it up with the other major nuclear power in this world. We are asking for fit to hit the shan. Because no matter what we think of Putin, you back him against a wall and oh crap, he may push that button. Just like he's worried Trump may push that button. Putin may, if he's backed into a corner, push that button. If somebody backed America into a corner where our last shot was them, we'd make the world glow. And I think Putin would too. So we cannot send our Air Force over there. If we have our soldiers directly firing on Russia, that is the actual declared war. Done. This becomes a full war. And remember, Russia's friends with North Korea, China. You are looking at a World War III with Axis powers again. You're going to have Russia, China, probably Turkey, probably Pakistan, probably multiple countries joining their side. Maybe the BRICS Union, you could call them, versus NATO countries. Pretty much versus us. So, yeah, it's a bad idea. We need to not let Europe clean up their own shit. Hey, if we're part of NATO, what's NATO doing? That's their job over there. Why are we doing it? Let them send their Air Force. And yes, Mr. Miles answered right below there. That's war, 100%. Yeah, let's not make it a hot war, 100%. I'd rather keep it lukewarm. All right, Russ. What's your take on basically Russia taking Ukraine land? I feel like it was you. Well, the thing is, that's what I just talked about a little bit ago. The Donbass region, they speak Russian, not Ukrainian. There is a difference. They consider themselves Russians. There was a civil war going on between Ukraine and the Donbass area. And that's why Russia actually got involved. It wasn't the NATO thing was just the final straw. The people in the Donbass area consider themselves Russians. They speak Russian. They call themselves ethnic Russians. They don't want to be part of Ukraine, but they were denied every time a vote to leave. The government said, nope, we won't let you vote to leave. They wanted to leave. They wanted to join Russia. Then there's a war going on where Ukraine is actually warring and ending the people in the Donbass. Russia said, screw you. And then the whole NATO thing was the last straw. So it's not just saying that Russia just took the land. You go look at those people in Donbass. They are ethnic Russians. They want, or is it Crimea? But either way, there's people over there that call themselves Russian. They wanted to be back to Russia. That is not just as simple as they took the land. It's not as simple as we just said, oh, Canada, you're ours. Canada was never part of America. Never part of the United States of America. Canada was part of, mother UK for a while, or Britain, but, the British Empire, but not part of the United States. It's not the same. Ukraine and Russia used to be one. Some of these people still consider themselves Russia, so that's what happened. But I do not think he should. The problem is we cannot get him out of there. The lands he's got now, the only way to get him out would be full out, 100% World War III. There is zero other way to get him out of there. None. You will not root him out. You'll not make him leave without a full out war. And that's bad. If we would have stopped it, if Trump had been there before and it would have stopped it before it even happened, that's fine. But he's there. He is there. Jeff, yep, China is China's the one you got to watch. China is the one trying to play Duncan MacLeod right now. There can be only one. So you got to watch that. Here's my view on the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. The historical ties set aside. The USSR was still around and wanted Mexico to join them, and Mexico started to make moves to do it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've told one of my relatives that. I'm like, Okay, so let's say the Warsaw Pact. Remember that? That was USSR. The people that joined the USSR Pact. If the Warsaw Pact talked to Mexico and Canada about joining them, we'd go, no, F you. You're not going to have people right on our border. Look how much of a shit fit we had when they just wanted to put missiles in Cuba. That was 90 miles off our border, not on it. So yes, the whole NATO thing was a straw in the coffin. But the very fact that a lot of these people in parts of Ukraine still consider themselves Russian and wanted to be part of Russia were denied the vote to leave Ukraine and join Russia. There's a lot going on here. No reply. How's it going? Australia has no nukes and no nuclear submarine. Wow, I thought they had at least one nuclear sub. Wow. I know they had no nukes, but wow, I thought they had a nuke sub. At least one. Wow. Thank you very much. Chucky Justice, keep your hands to yourself. Talking to me? Okay. I don't think Putin will actually join a war. I think he wants to use a saber. Oh, yeah, Russ. I think that's kind of where he's going. I think he's trying to get more favorable terms. He's pushing and showing what he could do. But I could be right. There's still a chance I'm right. He knows Trump doesn't want a full-out war. So he's going to see what he can get out of this. I thought Trump dropped us out of NATO. Oh, no, we're in NATO. No, we're still in NATO and the UN, unfortunately. Honestly, I don't like either, because if we're part of NATO, why isn't NATO handling this? Why is NATO turning to us? We're a member of NATO. The NATO countries. NATO should be handling it. Like the UN. We're 90% of the money for the UN and 90% of this military force for the UN. What the hell? Why are we involved in these things when it's just us? But we get no more say than the other countries. Whatever. What would happen if the USSR was still around? Mexico, yeah, exactly. Mexico had an election. The Russians didn't like, so they couped their government. Yes, and we did that. What Mr. Miles is alluding to is we set up a coup in Ukraine because we didn't like their leader. We installed their current government because we knew that government was friendly to us. The government that was there before was friendly to Russia. They were actually considering letting part of the people that thought they were Russian join back with Russia. We can't have that for some reason. So, yes, we set up a coup in Ukraine. Imagine if Russia did that here, set up a coup in our government. Just saying. But right now in our country, we just have Democrats that do that. So, I really worry if China goes for Taiwan because I don't trust Trump to defend them. Oof. You know, Russ, I would normally agree with you, but Trump is a man of his word. Whether we like his word or not, he's usually a man of his word. Just by how many promises he's busted his ass to keep. Even stuff that a lot of us go, well, whenever he goes by, I made a promise. We have a treaty with them. I think he would follow the treaty. Plus, right now, as much as Trump and even Biden to a certain point was trying to ramp up our own semiconductor processing, 90% of the world's semiconductors are right now made in China, Taiwan. We cannot let China have that. That wouldn't just hamstring us, that would hamstring the world. So I'm not sure we have any choice but to defend Taiwan. So yeah. Now the real question is, if let's say China makes a move today on Taiwan, would Russia jump in on their side? I don't know. That's what we have to worry about. We have to worry about what countries would come in on their side, like an Axis powers thing. 7, 8 years later, Russia starts floating the idea that Mexico joined the USSR. Yeah, Mr. Miles, you're sneaky, but I know you're stating exactly what we did to Ukraine and Russia. 100%, buddy. I have argued that with some leftist family members. I don't know, Russ, whether you trust Trump or not. I think he's a man of his word. He's a man of keeping our treaties. I think he'll defend them. I don't think we have a choice yet. 10 years from now, if we can keep on this path, when we have a lot more semiconductor facilities here and chip facilities here, you might be able to say no. I don't think he can say no. Mike, does anyone know where to get a Confederate MAGA ball cap at? No, I don't, but that would be a hell of a combination. If you find out, let me know. That is an interesting combo. Dude, I'd wear that just for the pokes. My lord. Amazon or eBay. Yeah, there you go. eBay. Yes, eBay. Hell, Google it. I've Googled some hats and stuff and shirts. But yeah, that's kind of a good question, Mike. Now you got me curious. Boy, I almost want to see that. That's a hell of a combo. Nuclear subs for Australia is going to take a few years. They don't have one now. Wow. Dude, in 2025, using diesel subs against nuke subs, that's like that's like trying to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with a pencil. Oof. That's going to be rough. Congress has to drop us from NATO. Thank you. There you go, Russ. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Trump can't just negate NATO, because NATO and UN are treaties. Treaties can't be negated by Trump. That has to be an act of Congress. If anyone here doesn't think Russia would be willing to go balls deep into war, I refer to World War II. Yes. Not just World War II. Look at World War I. Look back through Russia's history. Russian people, man, they have no problems throwing each other into the churn, man. They will walk their people in continuously. It's scary. They are tough. I would say each Russian soldier is worth 10 Chinese soldiers. Not saying because of the size. I'm just saying, Russians don't give a shit. When they feel that their backs are against the wall, whoa, Wolverines, baby. Oof. We had a treaty with Ukraine. No, we did not. We did not have a treaty with Ukraine. It was not an actual ratified congressional treaty. We made a verbal agreement. It was never ratified. We actually did not have a treaty. Oh, thank you, Mr. Miles. But yeah, we did not have, if you go look it up, we did not have a congressionally ratified treaty. It was just something we said, which I don't think we should have said, honestly. We never should have said it, but it was actually not a treaty. I thought that too until somebody told me no, so I went and looked it up. It was not a treaty. I don't trust Trump. Well, I trust Trump more than I've trusted any president in my lifetime. Do I think there's things he could be swayed on? Possibly. But if you look at his honesty compared to stuff he's promised and stuff he's done or tried to do, he's pretty good on his word. I can't find another president in my lifetime who's ever tried to keep their word as much. So, yeah, I'll go with that part for now. Trump has kept more campaign promises than any other POTUS in my life. Yes. And unfortunately, my lifespan seems to have gotten longer where actually that means something. If I was 20, that doesn't mean quite as much. But yeah, now I'm a little more than 20. A little more. Now it means something. It's like, woof. No reply. Look up Freescale Semiconductors and Flight MH370. Oh, dude. Dude. If it wasn't so late and I got to get off here in about 10 minutes, Flight 370. Dude, I've watched stuff on that. Flight 370 is screwy. There's conspiracy theories around that for a reason, just like 9/11. Too much shit hidden from us. Too much weird coincidence. Too much shit that some people knew. Oh, dude. You're a rabbit hole maker, buddy. Ooh. You're right. He even kept the joke promise about the Gulf of America. Yeah. He kept a promise to the libertarians to help, to give a pardon to, I can't even remember the guy's name. And a lot of Americans going, the what? Well, why are you doing that? He goes, because I promised. Somebody in his cabinet even asked, why are you doing this? He goes, because I made a promise. Trump, the reason Trump keeps more promises is because of his ego. It's a good thing at sometimes and a bad thing at other times. His ego leads him to do things where he wants to be liked, where he wants to be looked at as honest, where he wants his word to mean something. Ego does that. So somebody with no real ego of any type or manliness like Biden don't give a shit. He'll just do whatever lines his pockets. I mean, think about this. Trump has lost over $1.5 billion of his worth by doing this shit. He had a bullet whiz through his ear. A multi-billionaire could have been doing anything else having a bullet whiz right by his skull. You know, so you got to give the guy some chutzpah. I will trust a guy that stands up after that and says, fight. You know, I think maybe another, boy, I don't want to say that the wrong way. That gets you in trouble on YouTube. That bullet whizzing by his head set some fire in him, but I'm worried the fire may be dimming a little. So, yeah. Yes, the Russians, oh, they are crazy. World War II, Russia had a standing army of 34 million. Whoa. We had a verbal agreement with Ukraine. Yes, a verbal agreement. Wasn't congressional and it was not a treaty. And I do not think we should have said that, but I do not think we ever should have put ourselves in that position. But I'm not going to defend a verbal thing done that shouldn't have been done. A treaty, if we had ratified a treaty, gone through all of our government, our people had a chance to say, hey, no, and stuff like that, or yes, that's different. But a verbal agreement's okay if you're going, I'm going to sell you this can of pop for $1. Verbal agreement, okay, but not for something that could get us involved in a nuclear conflict. Jeff Alt, I work with a Russian and he is more American than anyone I know. Putin had him in a work camp. I never said I like Putin. He's scary. That's why, honestly, with a guy like Putin out there, we need our own scary. But the scarier guy is the guy leading China. The guy that looks like a friendly, smiley little panda dude. Gotta watch his ass. They are up to no good over there. They're openly saying, I think by the year 2027 at the latest, they're going to attack Taiwan. They're goofy. Yeah, we had an agreement, a written one, that NATO would not expand an inch towards Russia. Exactly. That was an actual written agreement. Yes. That was actually a treaty type agreement, not through our Congress, but as part of NATO that we signed. NATO said it wouldn't, that it started taking other countries. Once again, America would not like the Warsaw Pact from the day in Canada and Mexico. So, recipient agreed we didn't have a ratified treaty, but the concept of agreement was pretty clear. I'm not going to have a concept, behold the American people to a concept that has something to do with a war, or a world war possibly, or a nuclear war. A concept is not what the American people agree on. That's something some guy says or does. Anything is going to behold you, me, and everybody else to possibly glowing in the dark should be ratified by all of our representatives that you and me voted for. Not one guy. And his buddy or whatever, and Uncle Bob. Everybody you and I voted for as representatives should have a time to say yes or no, where you and I can send out letters, emails, whatever to them. Phone calls. I'm not going to give a concept agreement, pretty clear, but no. And once again, as up here was said, we had an actual written, real NATO type treaty where NATO wouldn't expand up against our borders. NATO already has Russia surrounded. Now they want to be in their doorstep. I don't blame Russia. Well, yes. Plus, they want access. They lost their big Navy base in Syria. They want to keep access to their base on the Black Sea. So, and once again, part of Ukraine wanted to be part of Russia. Ukraine already had a civil war going on internally. They were already deleting people in that area of Ukraine before Russia came in. A lot of the people in that area are helping Russia because they want to be Russia. So, his ego causes him to make choices that vary from day to day. He's inconsistent. I don't think he's inconsistent as you think. His words are inconsistent, but his actions really aren't. His actions, he usually does what he says, and he usually has a plan. His first term and what he got done and how he did things bear that out. Remember, all the economists and Obama made fun of him, said, you cannot do what you're saying you're going to do. Well, you have a magic wand, and he did it. He did it. Made the best economy in 45 years in this country. Did everything they said he couldn't. And now he's already done stuff now. Remember, Biden, the border can't be shut. You can't do nothing about it. Nope. Suddenly within a month, poof, cut off. He does do stuff. Just right now, we are in so deep in a mud hole. 4 years of getting screwed into a mud hole is going to take time to fix. So give the man some time to cook. Let's see what he's like 5 more months from now. Let's see how things are going. His ego, I think, is a good thing most of the time, a bad thing another time. I think his ego leads him to be a good leader, he wants to be loved, he wants to be remembered well, he wants to be remembered as a man who kept his word. 4D chess. Maybe. Hell, maybe he's only playing 1D chess. I don't know. We'll find out in about 4 to 6 months. Remember, this is a businessman. He knows how business works. So, all right. What everyone forgets is America and Russia are literally neighbors. Our lands touch each other. Almost. I don't think they actually touch. I think we're like, yay. You look at a planetary scale, we're yay close. I think our 2 islands are like a 5-mile gap or something like that at the end of our island chain. If I remember right, it's like a 5-mile gap. When each other live next door. Yeah, they are damn close. During really deep winter, you can walk across from Canada, from Russia to parts of Alaska. North Korea we need to watch. Well, North Korea we need to watch. They're not a big military. They don't have the standing army size or the reliable nukes. But yes, we need to watch them if they become part of a coalition or axis of powers in a World War III situation. Then we would need to watch them. But right now alone, they're not too much of a threat. But if they join up with other countries, it could be a problem. It's that straw that broke the camel's back type thing. So, read the art of the deal and everything Trump is doing would be easily predictable. Yes, I did read that. It's been a while, but yes, I did read it. You're right. I think a lot of people that have read the art of the deal also understand Trump a little more when he does things. But also, go back and look at Trump when he did interviews from the 80s and 90s. The man hasn't changed. He's believed these things. He's really a 1990s Democrat. But he hasn't changed. He's always believed America was being taken advantage of. He's always thought, here's how we fix it. He's really kind of going with it. Go back and look at the guy. What he said about running for president, he didn't want to do that. He says it's nasty. Politics is nasty. He said that a long time ago. He would only do it if he thought we had no better choices. I have no belief that something Trump does means it's 4D chess. I don't think he's an idiot. No man makes the money he did and the empire he did being an idiot. It's like when people saw Elon Musk an idiot. So I'm going to disagree with you on that, Russ. I'm not going to have to say he's doing 4D chess, but he's not an idiot in any way, shape, or form. He may be bared out to be wrong, but he's not an idiot. He is the best president of my lifetime. He's kept more promises, got more done. He does believe in America. He does support America more than any president that I remember. So, but I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think it's really fair to call him an idiot, but wait, what did he say he'd do the first term? He said he would get our unemployment under 3%. Obama went on one of the late night talk shows and actually made fun of him. Oh, he can't do that. What's he think? He's got a magic wand? All the economists were saying it's impossible to get unemployment that low, to get our GDP above a certain level. They all made fun of him for it. Then he gets in it, he does it. Best economy in 45 years in this country. So he did it. He did a lot of stuff. And then what happens? Biden comes in, signs a bunch of executive orders, reversing everything. He lowered the border in his first term too. What happened? Biden comes in, reverses it all. Foof. Trump goes back in, blink. He gets things done. You may not like him, but he's not an idiot. I never tell people they have to like Trump. I do, but I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think Barack Obama's an idiot either. Barack Obama knew exactly what he's doing. He was sowing racism in this country. I knew that man because he was in the Illinois State House. That man is a piece of shit, and he always has been. Now, do I think Joe Biden's stupid? He's evil, and now that he's decrepit. He wasn't stupid back in the day. He's always been kind of very corrupt and evil. We've had some stupid presidents, though. George Jr. comes to mind. Wait, what did he say? So, yeah, I already said that. He's right. Russia and the U.S. share one of the islands. Oh, I didn't know we shared it. I thought we were right next to each other on it. I didn't think we actually shared the island, but okay. How do you find the best economy in recent history? By every single metric we measure economies by, we had the best economy in 45 years under Trump's first term. That's how I'm going to define it. Every single metric we've always used to define a good or bad economy. Trump had it all on the good economy side in his first term. And it was all things that Barack Obama said couldn't be done with a magic wand. All the economists said couldn't be done. And then when he did it, they were all fucking silent. And people called him out, including Jim Cramer. People like, hey, Jim, what happened? Jim, what, Jim? Uh-huh. People called Barack Obama out for that shit. So, just saying, by every single metric of what you would call a good economy, he did it. Best in 45 years before him. So I would just say the metrics, every single, that's why, like Mr. Miles, which metrics? Every single metric we define a good and booming economy by. Truth Mouse, he has said the exact same thing for 40 years, 100%. Yes, Truth Mouse, you're probably one that's watched a lot of his past video interviews, read books, and everything else, seen stuff he's done. Yes, Trump hasn't changed. It's not like any of what he's doing is a surprise. He's always thought China was screwing us. He's always thought America was getting boned by our tariffs, by our trade. He always thought it was stupid we're involved in all these wars. He always thought it was dumb how our border was getting worse. Even back then he talked about, hey, our border, we're letting too many people in. Now, where I can disagree with Trump is where him and Elon Musk want to bring in these skilled workers on visas to work. I don't agree with that either. Give those jobs to American workers till every one of those jobs that we can fill is filled with an American worker. Then if we have some extra, bring them in. But other than that, I disagree with Trump on that. Trump is extremely consistent. He's also the first POTUS to go in supporting gay rights, which is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. The Democrats and presidents only supported gay rights after they got in office. Because before, if you look, marriage is between a man and a woman. That was Obama and Clinton. You think left would love that? But nope, doesn't matter. No, I agree. Wait, what do you mean? Unemployment level mess for 40 years if I'm ignorant? Yes. The unemployment levels were the lowest in 45 years under Trump, including the lowest in the history of the country for African Americans. So, yeah, go look those levels up. Lowest ever before. Trump employed. Plus, Trump, unlike Barack Obama, actually helped black colleges and institutions. Barack Obama talked a big game, did shit for them. Trump did things that would actually help them. So, yep. Mr. Miles, Orange Man bad, 100%. Trump just did something today, too, and I can't remember what it was. I'm so tired. I don't have my phone. I thought I took a note. He did something today where the Democrats are actually fighting against it. It's like, dude, you've always believed in that crap. Oh, he wants to give a tax credit for people having babies. Democrats have always been, why doesn't our government help support people having children? We should support people having families and babies and stuff. But now then suddenly Trump does. They go, it's racist. It's bad. Trump could say oxygen is great. And they would hold their breaths until they passed out. God, please try it, Trump. So yeah. I run nut forming machines and we were picking up like I've never seen. Yeah, you are. You are. Like, oh, Jeff. Jeff. Okay. You got me on that one. You started off so serious. I was with you. I'm like, shit. And as my mouth is going already, I see the last part of that, and I'm like, you sneaky shit. Jeff, you snuck that in on me. So you run, what, a CNC machine then? I'm a 30-year AC master tech. I work on cars. I make more nuts than Democrats. I'm not sure you can do that, Jeff. That's a lot of nuts. How about this? You make bigger nuts. Oh, how was the economy under Biden? What proof are you relying on? Every single metric we've always used to subscribe to a good economy. It's 4:47 a.m. I don't have time to sit here and go look it all up. Just go look at the aggregate of the economy under Donald Trump compared to the 45 years before him. Go look at the African American unemployment numbers under Donald Trump. Go look at every president for the 45 years before him. Feel free. I'm not Steven Crowder. I'm not going to give you all the freebies. I'm giving you some facts. If you want to go look it up, feel free. You don't have to believe me. I can always be wrong, but there's a lot of stuff I've read and looked at. You say a good metric of an economy is increased government jobs. Biden had the best. Yes, he did. 90+% of all the new jobs Joe Biden made went to either government employees or illegal aliens, not to the average American citizen. Yes, Mr. Miles is speaking truth. Yep. Government workers and illegal aliens got almost all the new jobs made under Biden. By the way, remember, those job numbers under Biden, every time they put one out, a couple months later, they'd go, oh, we messed up a little. What? We messed up. You did what? We messed up the job numbers. Shit. They're always pulling it back by a lot. So, yeah. Russ, you can keep doing that, bud. Just go look it up. I already gave you some metrics. Go look. Don't say it fucking again. You get annoying me after a while. I said, I gave you direct ones. Go look up our GDP. Go look up our African American unemployment. Go look those things up. Those are metrics. I gave you actual metrics. Go look them up. Go look up things under Trump. Go look up for the 45 years before him. There you go. There's metrics. Sorry if I'm getting cranky. It's 4:49 a.m. and I'm tired. But I've given you clear metrics. It's up to you whether you want to look them up or not. I just made 250,000 nuts in the last 10 hours. Holy shit. Recipient supported people who have kids. Someone who doesn't is BS. What? Oh. Normally I agree with you, Russ, but I understand what he's doing. It's not like welfare. He's giving a tax break. You're not supporting them. They're just paying a little less in taxes. We already pay too much anyway, and a lot of people get a lot of their money back from their taxes. But he's not just giving them your money. It's just charging them less in taxes. It's a tax break. But yeah, I do think America needs to invest in kids somehow because we are not replacing people right now. In about 30 years, we are going to have a fucking problem here. Rest of the world's an even bigger problem than we are, though. Not replacement rate. So you're going to have so many old people in homes with their hands out for welfare, we ain't going to have the workers to pay for it. But normally I agree with you, Russ, but I understand this is not a handout. This is just a tax break. So I do normally get you with that, bud. All right. Well, I got about 4 minutes here, 5 minutes, and I got to get off. I'm already going to be tired when we leave. Woof. Fun fact, Project 24. Somebody said about Romney Care up here. Where's Romney Care? There it is. Oh, Romney Care become Obamacare. Yeah, wasn't that neat? There's a reason I never liked Romney. Oh. Romney is he's one of those, he's why I'm not a Republican. One of those people. Ugh. Jeff, all you need to keep people nice. Supporting people, let's say, Fun Fact Project 2025 wrote Obamacare, Romney became Obamacare. Heritage Foundation wrote Romney Care. The Heritage Foundation is Project 2025. So Project 25 wrote Obamacare. Yeah. Thing is, I love how they made such a big deal out of Project 2025 that Trump had zero to do with. There's all fear porn around him. Everything was fear porn. And now they're slowly edging back to it. They got away from the Nazi thing because, boy, they lost the election bad because of all the Nazi and Hitlers and 1940s German references and crap. But then now they're starting to edge back to it. I'm starting to hear it again. Yep, Romney Care did become Obamacare, 100%. Kind of makes you go, now who likes Project 2025? It seems like Democrats, with a sprinkle of crappy Republican in there. How about this? I have a phrase I use a lot, uniparty. I don't think a lot of them are, I think a lot of them are all assholes, both sides. So I like the term uniparty. Because they can get something done that you and I never asked them to do like crazy. But 70% of Americans want illegal aliens, wanted the border closed for the last so many years, and they couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Every time you and I want something like voter ID, 70 to 80% of Americans want voter ID. They wouldn't do it. But boy, they want to talk about how great Twinkies are. They'll do a resolution going, we love Twinkies in a second. Uniparty. All right, I got about 2 minutes. But YouTube don't like that sort of language. I had to hide it. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Miles. Oh, it's not too random, Russ. Just take your time, buddy. You don't have to answer it tonight because I'm about out of here. I'm up way longer than I wanted to be. Ron Paul. Oh. Ron Paul was epic. His son Rand is good, but not as good as his dad. Ron Paul was amazing. Another guy a lot of people forgot about who was amazing. Ross Perot. Problem is he was too dry in his delivery, but Ross Perot said a lot of great things too. Ross Perot had balls. He sent commandos into Iran to rescue some of his people who worked over there during the whole hostage thing. It's on a book too called On Wings of Eagles. Go look that up. Oh, hey, no problem, Russ. Ask Mr. Miles. Mr. Miles and I are real friends, trust me. But boy, every once in a while. No. Anybody that comes here regular will tell you I am not here for an echo chamber. I may get all hiss at you at times. But I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm not here for an echo chamber. And I like people coming here because I like the interaction. I like discussion. I like debate. And as you and I discussed, Mr. Russ, you are, center with a little bit of left? I'm center with a little bit of right. That means we find a lot of agreement. The things we don't agree on, we just try to make it work. No, I don't think tax money going to public education is a bad thing. I would agree with you, Russ, as long as if the public school system was working, but it's not. The Department of Education has been an abject failure. The Department of Education was only formed for Jimmy Carter to win the election. He told these people, you vote for me, I will give you this, the Department of Education, which all of you are going to get money and power out of. You'll be a big block. That's what they were. So, yeah, the Department of Education, ever since we've enacted them, we've gone from down to number 37 or 38 in the world. We just fell one more point here recently. During the Biden, I think we fell from 37 to 38 in the world. So we pump trillions into the Department of Education, but we keep going down. So let's put it back to the way it used to be, to when we were number one in the world, and let the states do it. Let each state handle their shit. So yeah, I would agree that about if the Department of Education was working and workable and not totally decimatedly corrupt, I wouldn't mind putting money into public education. But it's crap. And your money will still go to public education, just more local. You pay your state taxes, it goes right to your schools. It doesn't have to go to the federal government. Then they look around and see who they want to bribe with your tax money to do what they want, whether it's Michelle Obama's eat broccoli weird school lunch thing, or, hey, you're not teaching enough about trans stuff, so we're not going to give you money unless you do. Right now, your tax money, if we get a parent partner of education, you pay your taxes in your state, city, county, state, it goes right there. Not to the feds, then they dole it out as they see fit. If you agree with them. But yeah, as Mr. Miles says, even if you don't have kids, that's a thing I have. If you have kids in school, you should pay. I don't even mind if you have kids, if your kids graduate, you pay for another 5 years. But you shouldn't pay for the school system for your life. A 75-year-old retired couple should not be paying for the school system anymore. They have a hard enough time making it, a lot of those retirees now, anyway. Buckle Bunny, I can eat breakfast about now. Yeah, I got exactly 3 minutes and I am done, no matter what. Hey, far north dirt, far up late I am. English going away. Far north dirt track, and I've been watching your past live streams. Never been seen to catch you live. Enjoy. Thank you, man. Mr. Miles, I'm center left, but then woke became a thing. Now the left calls me right wing. Isn't that crazy? Join the club. Tons of people are like that. Like I said, I called myself center or center left most of my life. There's a lot of stuff I can still argue with conservatives on. I'll give you an example. Any conservative says a 12-year-old girl that's interfered with by her daddy has to have that child, I have a problem. That's stuff I can argue with. So I am definitely not conservative. But thank you very much. Far north dirt tracking. I had to make sure I get that right. Yeah, a lot of people, the left has gone so far left, they drug the rug out of a lot of center left or slightly left people. And now there's people like Russell Brand going, dude, they call me right. Russell Brand, if you listen to him, he's still libertarian left. He really is. But they call him a righty. They call Tim Pool a conservative now. It's like, what? Nuts. No. Russ, I don't know. I'm going to be out of here. I am really out of here in 2 minutes. I'm on a hard out because I got to get up for this Chesapeake thing here. I got to get some sleep. Look up Department of Education, when it was enacted and why. It was enacted by Jimmy Carter because he, as a promise for his election, he promised he would give them the DOE, the teachers, and the union wanted this power structure. So he enacted the DOE, I believe, in 1977 to 79, somewhere in there. But you have to go look it up. You'll find it. I can't remember who did an article on that. I read too much. But yeah, look it up. It was enacted by Jimmy Carter for that reason. It was to help him win an election. It's creating immoral parallels between giving tax breaks to parents, tax dollars going to food programs for children. Yes. Yep. It is. Oh, it's a tough thing. Food programs for children are starting to get on my nerves. Once in a while I get it, but Jesus Christ, parents, feed your freaking kids once in a while. And do not tell me that good food's expensive. You can go to my local Aldi and buy a big bag of carrots and a head of cauliflower. The whole bag of carrots is like $1.30. That's not expensive for a whole bag of carrots. Fresh, good, peel it, cook it carrots. Cauliflower, yay. Anybody says that stuff's expensive is crap. The cheapy knockoff Hostess cakes are more expensive at Aldi than the actual good stuff. People don't want to eat the good stuff. That's the problem. Buckle Bunny, I'm center leaning to the right a tad bit. See, look, we got the mix here. Most of us, though, are close within a certain degree wheel, I bet, of the center. That is where I believe most of America really is. I really do. Let's see. Oh boy, I got to get out of here. All right, things I was pushed to the right. I started to talk to right-wingers more and found we have a lot in common. Yes, that's another thing I will say. People on the far right are also guilty. There's people on the left right now. That's why they scream at you not to talk to anybody. They don't want you to find out, hey, wait a minute. Me and Jimbo over here actually agree on more stuff than we disagree. Well, how about we make laws and and government agency stuff on the points we agree on, then worry about the non-agreement stuff later. Oh no, they don't want any dissension. Any. What do you call it? California conservative. No reply. Have you met Mr. Miles? No reply, and Mr. Miles sound like two sides of the same California coin. One of the rare MAGA from San Francisco. Ooh, you are a stranger in a strange land, my friend. And Mr. Miles, the Californians are taking over. Yes, they are. Russ, is that a bad thing? Which part? The Department of Education? Yes, it's been a horrible thing. We've gone from I think when we were enacted that, we were third in the nation, third in the world or second in the world. Now we're at 38. That's all since we enacted that. If you go look at how we've done, our test scores go zzz, our reading level, zzz, our math level, zzz. Kids now have to take remedial classes when they go to college a lot of times. So yes, if you're talking about the DOE, yes, horrible. Lots of MAGA in SoCal. Yes, Mr. Miles has been telling me about that forever and winning me over to his way of thinking. You know, most people I know in Northern Cal are really more MAGA. The one thing I don't like that Trump did was pardon the BLM leader that filmed Ashley. Oh. He did. Wow. I thought I heard that, but I never really knew he did for sure. Wow. Well, I'm not in a cult. I can look at Mr. Trump and go, well, that was fucking stupid. We're trying to get Lyon to understand there's more Trump support in Cali than other states think. Oh, no, I believe you. There's more than a lot of people think. I just don't think it's enough to turn you red yet. Oh, I think you need to keep Gavin in there for another 4 to 8 years, and I think you'll go red then. You need another Gavin. And I think that'll get enough people pissed off enough. Yeah, I think so. Enough people leave. Enough more businesses leave. Oof. Or you get started enacting your crazy stuff where you can't have gasoline cars. Oh, good luck on that. Trump support California is crazy. Just main cities are blue. Well, no reply. Look up Illinois. Illinois is almost as red as Iowa, except for a little pocket around Chicago and a little pocket around there and a couple little pockets here and there around the state. Most of this state, if you look up the map, is glowing red. Yeesh. So I feel you. I feel you, buddy. I live in this state that is almost as insane as yours. Damn right, I think most of us are on the same page. Yeah. And the thing is, Russ, where we're not on the same page, at least we can have a disagreement. Me and Mr. Miles, boy, we had some knockdowns. But we come right back to, what do? We go, you know what? We're just not going to agree on that. But what can we agree on? We can talk and agree on 70% of stuff, maybe even 60. Let's say only 60. Well, we agree on the 60, then let's do the 60, and the 40 we'll worry about later. So yeah, that's what our political parties used to do, by the way, in this country. They used to argue and go, okay, we don't agree this, but hey, we agree on this, let's do that. Now they don't. They just want to piss and moan and tell you and I to re-elect them while they do nothing. And that's why they hate Trump on both of them. He comes in and does more in months legally than they've done in 20 to 40 years. Makes them look stupid. And now when they run, they have a hard time with their constituents going, if you elect me, I'll get this done. They go, wait a minute. But you said you couldn't do this, that it wasn't legal. Trump went and did it, and it's legal. So what were you doing? Now, wait a minute. You used to be worth $500,000. Now you're worth $40 million. Wait a minute. So most of us agree, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. Yeah, 100%. I think most Americans don't really consider themselves Democrat or Republican, but I don't know about every state. I know in a lot of states, to vote, you have to actually register as one or the other. You can't just say, I'm an American. You got to actually put in Democrat or Republican. I've always felt dirty no matter which one. Ugh. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to state some allegiance. I don't know if that's every state. I know a lot of states around me, that's the way it is. You have to state an allegiance. to one or the other. Or say you are one. The only allegiance I want to do is for the flag of the United States of America and the schools, not the rainbow. Colorado's the most insane. Oof. Oof. Bunny just took a broadside. Squidward. Squidward. Wow. Do not challenge me like that this early. Seems like a lot of them are fleeing to Nevada County. Really? Wow. Wasn't that going to screw up Nevada? Ugh. Well, a lot of it went to Colorado, and Colorado's now in some deep crap. Send them to Oregon. Oregon's already full of nuts. Mr. Miles, I totally agree. No reply. Rhinos and rats. Republicans in name only. Yes. Republicans against Trump. Yes. Ugh. They like Trump because he's brought them power and brought their party out of the stink end it was in. But they hate him because he's still making them look bad by actually getting shit done. They don't like to answer for anything. He's making them answer for stuff. Squidward. Wow. That's rough on me. Our agriculture folk are to the right. Yes. A lot of Cali people gone to Arizona. Oof. California's invading. You know, they like a lot of the Californians that leave, don't all go out and vote the same way. Some of them get out because they don't like what is going on. They've tried to vote and fix California. They said, screw it, gone. But they don't go to Houston. They go to good parts of places. So they can be a good thing or a bad thing. They can be a horde of locusts or some really good neighbors. Depends on which Californian you get. Nevada County. That county voted for Obama in both elections, against Trump 2016, 2020. But for Trump this past election. Wow. Thing is, a lot of people that were considered themselves actual Democrats voted for Trump too. But I mean, how would you not? Trump is the first true unity administration. People have always gone, God, I wish we could have an administration that had a mix of Republicans and Democrats and even some libertarians. Trump has that. He has libertarians. He has Democrats. He has Republicans. He has a mix. So I love when people want to, especially Democrats want to hate on him. Go, but he's got Democrats in there. Libertarians, but he's got a libertarian. I can't remember which one, but he's got a libertarian in there too. It's like he's got a mix. This is the most mixed administration in my lifetime, and that includes Trump's first. Let's see. I visited there during the pandemic. There's a lot of Trump supporters who had just moved there. Wahoo. All right, guys. I am going to get ready to get off here, but I'm going to read these last couple chats. I don't think most of the executive orders are legit. If you think they are, yes, they are legit. They are purely legit and by the law. The problem is our executive orders were one. Sorry, my cat is getting into something. Which cat is that? Oh, my dogs are upstairs making noise, so I'm sure they're waking up. The problem is what we had in the first term. Trump made good executive orders, good laws. Biden come in, removed those executive orders, and then made his own to remove good laws, like remain in Mexico, like opening our border. The problem is we need more presidents, don't have to be Trump, but something more towards the Trump level, who will not just reverse shit, who will keep some of it at least. That's what we need. Left Cali in 2023, moved to Gulf Coast and bought a house. Kept my place in SF, so I moved back here and go to Mississippi to hide out and relax. Nice. That minute Trump approves of anything, it becomes poison to the left. Yes. Squidward, I said that a little bit ago. If Trump come out today and said, oxygen is the most amazing thing, everybody should take deep breaths every minute. Enjoy it. And they would just hold their breaths. Democrats would until they croaked. So Trump, please come out and endorse air. If Trump cured cancer today, they'd be marching, support the tumors. I mean, come on. They're supporting Tren de Aragua and MS-13. An Arizona judge, at least his wife, got arrested because they were housing in that Tren de Aragua, a gangster. Democrats are nuts. Trump shifted every county further red. Yes, except one. Yep, 100%. Hawaii, yeah. Surprise. What do you do when the Dems, after Trump isn't in office? They completely reverse everything. It's always a danger. But you just have to hope that I don't know if it's J.D. Vance, but you got to hope somebody, doesn't have to be, like I said, Trump level, but somebody closer to Trump than to Biden, Obama, wins the next election. And they would keep most of, if not all of it. I think if the Democrats did win the next election and then reversed it all and ran us right back into the same shithole Biden did, I think the Democrat Party would never recover from that. I think they'll be done for good. I really think so. Because that would just prove beyond a shadow of any doubt in anybody's head that the Democrats are toxic and Trump was right. Actually, the Supreme Court is siding with most of Trump's orders. My problem is the Supreme Court isn't siding with the actual Constitution at times. They said he can't deport anymore under the Alien Enemies Act, and they are wrong because if you read the actual act that is passed by Congress, there is separation of powers. That says right in it, there is no judicial review when a president enacts this. So the Supreme Court actually has zero standing on this. The only people that can reverse this act is the Congress of the United States. It is their purview. It is not the court's purview. Separation of powers. So honestly, I think Trump needs to sooner or later start looking at some of the courts making stupid rulings and say, F off. You've made your ruling, enforce it. Try it. I'm in a liberal hellhole and they love fluoride now. What? Yeah. Yes, I mean, Squidward, you're right. Everything Democrats were against, now they're for. Everything they were for, now they're against, only because Trump is either for or against it. It is insanity. Oh, thanks. I very much appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't, please hit thumbs up. If you like to subscribe, feel free. I appreciate it. I am not at too many regular times. I do try to do red eye streams at least once or twice a week, and I try to do a earlier stream once or twice a week. Fortunately, I will be in and out doing some stuff with trying to help my brother, my elderly father, and this Chesapeake Bay Retriever event for our dog. So I'll be here, but I'm going to be in and out. I don't know if I have time to sit in front of this. If I do, I will pop on. But that's me. I like live streams. I like to interact with all you. Making videos I consider kind of an easy thing. It's not real. Interacting with people in a chat, agree, disagree, semi-agree, semi-disagree, that's where it really is. But yes, Squidward, I am in a liberal hellhole called Illinois myself. So yes, there are some of us here in liberal hellholes. Welcome to the club. Rushipian, that's a problem with X order. Yes. I agree it is a problem, Russ, and I don't like it myself, but I don't know how to fix it. Those powers are there for a reason, and unfortunately, we have to live with the bad as well as the good with them. Mr. Miles, they paused the ability to do so they can review the constitutionality of it. I thought they changed it and ordered him that he can't do it. But all I know is it says right in it, not open to judicial review. And that is separation of powers. Only Congress can reverse that. So, yeah. Seattle. Oh, Squidward. Okay, you beat me. You beat me. Yeah, you're in a liberal hellhole. Yeah. Damn, man. You got me. Yeah, even Mr. Miles is going, ooh, I feel for you right now. Yeah. Oof. Oof. I don't know. Bunny might be in the worst. Uh-oh. I got restless dogs staring at me down the steps. All right, guys, I got to go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. To my mods, thank you very much. You guys did a great job tonight. Connie, as always, thank you. Mr. Miles. Hey, by the way, Paul, if you're still here, Study Boy NZ, I really do hope you get into that doctor, bud. But I do got to get out. I really got to get about 3 hours of sleep and get going. All right, guys, thank you very much. Talk to you later. Till next time, welcome to Lyons Den. And, boy, hope y'all aren't up too late.